Thomas Paine, Sam Adams, Benjamin Franklin. These men spoke up for what they thought was right. From their courage came such documents as the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. From their willingness to speak what was sometimes unpopular but right, we enjoy such liberties as freedom of speech, the right to keep and bear arms, and freedom of religion. There are those who still wish to oppress our freedoms, and there are still patriots willing to stand up and defend life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Men like Zeb Bell, who honor our founding fathers and what they stood for. It's now time for Zeb at the ranch, speaking up and defending your freedoms. Brought to you by Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers and all of the other great advertisers on the program. And now, Zeb Bell.
A gentleman in Atlanta, Georgia, wrote this letter to his neighborhood newspaper, and it said, "In response to all the recent emails about our dog, please be advised. We are sick and tired of answering questions about him. Yes, he bit 6 people wearing Obama t-shirts. He bit 4 people wearing Pelosi t-shirts. 2 car drivers with Obama Reed bumper stickers. 9 teenagers with pants hanging below their butts. 3 flag burners and a Pakistani taxi driver. But for the last time, the dog is not for sale." Good morning, everybody. Here comes Kate Smith, and God bless America. Need a Pledge of Allegiance person? Give us a call. Oh, thank you very much. Zeb at the Ranch, I'm Zeb Bell with a very, very sore throat, weak voice this morning, so please bear with me. Help me out and stay on the phone with me and talk to me. Hey, Zeb at the Ranch, I'm Zeb, and your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers are our number one sponsor. That's right, and all 7 great locations serving you, along with some of our great advertisers, including Western Way Services, always at your disposal. Call them, get on the route service today, 734-6969. And also our friends at Valleywide Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida and Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch. Right now, let's go to the phone lines and get our Pledge of Allegiance on. Good morning.
Nobody's called in.
What in the world is going on out there? It must be busy or something this week. We've had a couple of days where you are going to have to do the pledge. Go ahead, sir.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Wheels, you did a good job, as you always do. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And right now, it's time for the weather with Michael Rogers Weather, brought to you by Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Look for the blue door. And they're going to have a great big anniversary sale this weekend on June 5 and 6, tomorrow and Saturday. Don't forget, they're going to have carpet as low as $5.79 per square yard, vinyl as low as $7 per square yard. Oh my goodness, you don't want to pass up all the great deals for you at Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley, 678-6945. I'm going to have them on the air later on this morning, but right now here is Michael Rogers Weather.
We are 100, maybe less than 100 days to the start of the NFL season. What does that have to do with weather? It doesn't. I just thought I'd throw that up out at you. So other than that, how are you? The weather hasn't changed for this week. Going into the weekend, you had a pretty cool sunset, though, last night. The scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms are going to be with us all the way through the weekend. You'll see isolated showers today. They'll kick in right after lunchtime, 73 for the high. In fact, daytime highs will be pretty much in the mid to upper 70s all the way through the weekend. Overnight lows will be in the middle 50s. Other than that, no major storms, just yucky weather all the way through the Magic Valley through the weekend. In the form of rain. No wind events coming up, and things should be kind of quiet enough that you might not see any hail. But then again, like I always tell you, weather can't read. Other than that, Hey, guess what? You got less than 100 days to the start of the Green Bay Packers. How about that? Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the weekend. It's the only weather you got.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. Weather brought to you this hour by Cheney Flooring and Home Design. Big anniversary sale going on this weekend at 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Look for the blue door. Merv May, come on in here and let's sell some cattle.
All right, it gets the steer calves here to get $31, 1 31, going out payment 32.
Oh, that's the chant of the world's best auctioneer, Merv May, at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard. With sale time this morning, you can sleep in a little bit longer. 10:30 this morning, sale time at 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Number to call, 678-9411. Merv May, Cade Rogge, Lance Udy, all these folks working for you at the Burley Livestock Sale Yard. With today, sale time starting at 10:30. And they're going to have Paula Nelson from Elba bringing down a mixed load of cows and calves. Barker Ranch up at Elba bringing in 800 to 1,000-pound heifers and a good lot of those. And TLK Dairy of Mountain Home bringing in some butcher cows along with the trailer line run. And again, starting time at 10:30 this morning with a sale that works for you. Burley Livestock Sale Yard, 1100 Occidental Avenue in Burley. Merv, sell those steers.
All right, it gets the steer calves here to get $31, 1 31, going out payment 32, 2 1/2, 3 1/2, 134, 4 1/2, 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 135, 50, 135 1/2, $7.35. Does that bell get bought?
No, I don't mind getting that bottom price. That's a pretty good price. Good morning, everybody. Zeb at the ranch. And I want to remind everyone real quick that the Classics on the Grass car show is going to take place at the Cassia County Fairgrounds this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, June 6th and 7th, and it's put on by the Minnecasia Auto Collectors 29th annual show, Classics on the Grass. And they're going to have a lot of giveaways and some drawings and just all kinds of fun down there at the Cassia County Fairgrounds. Minnecasia Auto Collectors 29th annual car show coming up this weekend. Everybody try to be there. Calls are welcome and appreciated, and really appreciated this morning. It'll help take some of the load off my voice, which is a little bit weak this morning. Don't forget, too, our friends at Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, 678-0459. And we're going to be turning on the old air conditioners before too long. And if you haven't put a brand new clean air filter in your air conditioner, it might not work so good. So you better check it out today at Ramsey Heating and Electric. And they're open 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday. Ramsey Heating and Electric, where they provide warm winters and cool summers. Really good folks. All right, give us a call. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Give me a jingle. Let's see what else we got cooking here this morning. Later on this morning, of course, we've got a lady with the Burley, Idaho Regatta, and that's going to be Christy Dilworth's going to be on the phone with us. And also, later on this morning at about 10:45, we're going to have our dear friend State Senator Dean Cameron on, and we're going to be talking about his new job. By the way, don't forget, too, Valleywide Home and Ranch. So many things going on over at Valleywide at 910 South Oneida in Rupert. And if you're a 4-H'er, you can save 10% on all the supplies you need for your projects. If you're into horses and you need to buy some tack and you're into horseshoeing, whatever, they can get also a 10% discount. If you're with the rodeo associations, just show your membership card and get that 10% off. Always money saving. And boy, for the fishermen, they've got an outstanding fishing department. All the gear, all the licenses, even the worms, right there at Valleywide Home and Ranch. 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch at Valleywide Home and Ranch. All right, your turn. 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Wow, there was a plot foiled. Thank the good Lord above. And these people, these low pond scum people that were involved in this plot to behead policemen here in our country, on the East Coast, in Boston. I could not believe this story when I heard it, and thank goodness they caught a black Muslim uncle and his nephew and some others connected to this. They said that they were inspired by ISIS, and they've been caught. Unbelievable terror plot right here in this country. And it shows without a doubt the problems that are growing like a cancer right here in this country. Your thoughts, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. We are not safe. We are being naive. I cannot believe the Obama administration. I cannot believe how they turn a deaf ear and a blind eye as to what's going on. And your safety, your family's safety, my safety, everyone's safety is in jeopardy right now. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Thank you for your call.
Okay, on the cell phone. Hope you can catch me all right on this.
All right, sir. Yes, go ahead, sir, please.
Yes. Yeah, the bad news, they're here, they're all over the place, they're making plans, there's no doubt about it, but little different results when the people have guns to shoot back with.
You know, right there, sir, is the key to what is going to help all of us, is still maintaining that Second Amendment. The police and the FBI and all other protective agencies can't be everywhere at once, and we are going to have to adopt the training and the knowledge to protect ourselves and our own families.
Right on.
I appreciate your call. It makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks,
God bless you. You know what? He's right. And you know what? If you haven't got a gun, you'd better get a gun and learn how to use it in a proper, professional manner. There are many, many agencies out there. There are many, many companies that will not only sell you the weapon, but also line you up with a learning class to learn how to use the gun and possibly also get your and obtain your concealed weapons permit. I urge you to do so because an armed citizenry is what's going to protect all of us, not the police, and it's certainly not the fault of the police. But they cannot be everywhere. They cannot be there within a minute or 2 minutes to possibly change and alter a devastating and very dangerous situation. So please take my words and heed them. We all need to be able to protect ourselves, our property, and our families. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. By the way, in a related story this morning, I could not believe the personality and the verbiage that was used yesterday by the police commissioner in Baltimore, Maryland. And honestly, it was a frantic plea for all hands on deck. Those are the words that were used by the police commissioner, that all hands on deck. Everybody within the police department, no vacations, no time off, nothing, all hands on deck. Why? Because right now, Baltimore, along with many other major cities, are experiencing, ladies and gentlemen, huge crime waves. I mean, we're talking major homicide numbers way up. We're talking about pharmacies being broken into and drugs stolen at random. We're talking about massive, severe spikes in crime, robberies all across the country. And I want you to answer this question for me this morning. Maybe you think I'm an extreme right-winger when I say this. Fine, I don't care. This is my feeling. I wonder if some of this is not orchestrated, some of this is not organized to get this administration into a federalized police state and martial law. It is an extremely volatile situation right now and out of hand in many major cities. Like they said in Baltimore, all hands on deck. What are your thoughts? Give me a call, please. 436-2244. While I do this, I know your call is coming in. Don't forget Barry Equipment and Rental. These are wonderful people to work with, and right now 3 locations serving you: Addison Avenue West in Twin Falls, South Lincoln in Jerome, and 159 West Highway 30 in Burley. And 0% financing until June 30th, the end of this month, on those Walker mowers. Boy, they are good. No payment for up to 120 days. Well, call them, stop in, see them. They've got all the equipment to do any job and get it done right. So stop in to Barry Equipment and Rental, Eli and Twin, and of course we got the rest of the crew over here in Burley, Nick and the gang. I'll tell you what, they're all great folks that really, really understand how to serve you at Barry Equipment and Rental, Twin Falls, Jerome, and Burley. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Zeb.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your call.
You're welcome. Thank you for doing what you do.
Well, you know, sometimes, I got to tell you, Doug, I get frustrated. I need the support of the audience to keep everything going and to let me know that they still care. And when you bring up stories about a possible beheading movement for our police and nobody calls and nobody shows any interest, you just wonder what's going on out there.
Well, it's start of summer. There's people camping, people busy.
Yeah, but you know, Doug, people need to get involved and let their voices be heard so that they are a unified voice of making sure everybody's aware of the dangers out there.
Well, I look at it this way. If you don't get involved and you don't speak your piece and try to help right the cause.
Hold on a second, Doug. I'm going to have to ask Damon to turn you up a little bit. The feed from the station on the call, I need it up just a little bit. I'm having trouble hearing you. Thanks. All right, go ahead. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, when people don't get involved and they don't speak up and stand up for what's right or what they believe,
yep.
When things fall apart, they're the first ones to scream and holler and say, well, what's going on?
I couldn't agree more. You know, the thing is, we are all at fault because we're so lackadaisical in our response, and we're more worried about, like you said just a minute ago, going camping or going fishing. You know what? Right now, the world is on fire, and I hate to agree with Bill O'Reilly a lot of times, but he's right. The world is falling apart at the seams, and nobody is taking the time to try to stitch it back together.
Exactly it. It's become a me society. I've noticed that over the last 40 years, that everybody coming up, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? It's not what's best for the community, what's best for the state, or what's best for the United States. It's what's in it for me.
Yeah. How do we change that?
Well, education is the best way. Get the government out of education, for one thing, because the government is brainwashing the kids. They're telling the teachers what to teach the kids. They're writing the history books. They're putting in the history books what they want the kids to know, leaving out all the stuff that is very important that would help them make a wise decision on the future.
Well, let me go back to a point, and you can laugh at me if you want. You can point your finger at me and say how wrong I am. But when you hear about crime escalating all over the country and the Ferguson effect, if you will, of the looting and the burning and the robbing and the pillaging and the murdering going on at record numbers right now, it kind of tells me, wait a minute, there's an undercurrent orchestration that's causing this, and maybe for a reason of trying to get a federalized police force. I don't trust anybody.
I don't either. I don't trust the federal government. Now, the local police, I think 99.9% of them are very upstanding citizens and will do what's right for the country. But you take the federal government, if they're going to have a federal deal, my God, people, look at what happened over in Nazi Germany with the Jews.
Amen.
That's exactly where we're going if we do not wake up and tell the federal government to take a flying leap.
Well, not so much the flying leap, but also just tell them that we're going to change things because we, the people, are still in control. And we're going to get rid of the dead wood. We're going to get rid of the rotten aspect of politics. And we have got to take command of that ballot box and not let the sleaze and the lowlifes continue to be in office and sit there and do nothing but line their pockets.
Exactly. And if we think Mexico has a corrupt government, the United States is following right with them. we're getting just as corrupt as some of the worst nations in the world.
But, Doug, it's all on our shoulders. We've got to take back command as we the people.
Exactly.
All right, Doug. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Great day.
Thank you, sir.
How you doing, bud?
All righty. Caller, just a second. I'll be right with you. I want to remind everybody about the Relay for Life. Mini-Cassia Relay for Life, Friday, June 19th and the 20th. And that's all going to take place at the Cassia County Fairgrounds in Burley. Don't forget, they'll start at 6 p.m. on the 19th with an opening ceremony. And like I said yesterday, Patty Shockey said that they're looking for more teams to come on board, try to generate more money in, of course, cancer research. Call her, Patty Shockey, at 670-2975 for the Mini-Cassia Relay for Life, and I'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. I heard something yesterday that really upset me. Do you know anything about this military thingamajig that's going to go on down in the South, Texas, Louisiana, and that area down there for 3 months?
Now,
do you know anything about it?
I am not sure I understand the terminology thingamajig or what's going on down there in that area. I have heard rumblings, Helen, about an organized, and believe me, this is all speculation. I have nothing to back it up. I have just heard that there is some kind of a militarization type program that's scheduled down in the Southwest and the Southeast, and for the purpose of what they're doing or what they're trying to achieve, I don't know. But I can tell you this. I am in contact with a gentleman, and I'm not going to use his name now because I don't have his permission. He's going to possibly come on the program next week, and he's going to be talking about this. So bear with me a couple of days until I find it out.
Okay, thank you, sir.
God bless you. Thank you much. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that I was on yet or not.
You sure are.
Can you remember when you were younger and you were going somewhere and with your family in a car or something, and a policeman passed you or something, and there goes one of them bears or pig or whatever, all those names there, you say kiddingly about our police. And our children pick up on that.
I agree.
So why should they have any respect for them now?
Well, wait a minute, though, Keith. First of all, in this program, you've never heard me refer to the police as anything but the police or the sheriff or whatever. I have never used a derogatory term, ever. And my mother and father taught me and my sister to always, with respect, speak of them. I mean, I'm not going to refer to them as there goes Smokey Bear or anything like that. They are the police, and I grew up in an aura of respect for them. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're saying, but I'm not so convinced that all of the populace looks at the police with some kind of a disdain or disrespect.
Well, and I respect you and your family and your upbringing, but it is something that happens. People think they're funny when they say things like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're teaching our young people not to be as respectful for the law as they should be.
I will agree with you, but, you know, here's another angle, Keith. Think about this and give me your response real quick because I got to go to a hard break. I think that when media asks the police forces or a sheriff or a member of the police to come on a radio program and they turn it down or they say, oh, gee, I don't want to, and that type of thing, they are missing a golden opportunity to put forth the best foot in the community. And I, as a community member, I'm not going to mention any names right now, I've been really upset and mad at times that I've given police the occasion to come on this program and they've turned it down. That's their fault and a negative against them.
Well, and I don't think they have realized the seriousness of this, but it is getting serious.
Yes, it is.
So why don't we put a bumper sticker on our car saying, have you hugged a policeman lately?
Well, why don't you start the movement? Why don't you start the movement and I'll support it on the radio, okay?
I'm going to do that.
All right, and I promise I'll give you all the support I can. Keith, God bless you. I got a hard break. Talk to you later. Thank you. All right. I think it's a good idea, and I'll support him all I can. But for the police officers, sheriff's officers, whatever, when I ask you to come on the program and talk about a various subject, don't run and hide, because that's your chance to step forward in the community and be heard, be recognized, and be respected. Let's go now to the Capital Press Ag Minute, brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids. Christine Pickup. This lady is so smart. I went over there for my hearing screening test finalization the other day, and I'm going to be telling you a lot more of what happened on Monday, but I'll tell you what, if you're experiencing any hearing problems, it's not a part of aging. No. You don't want to lose any hearing. Maybe you outside shooting your shotgun a lot or subjected to a lot of noise, the tractor or whatever. Hearing loss is very dangerous, and I suggest you give her a call at 312-0957 for a hearing screening. Mount Harrison Audiology and Hearing Aids, Christine Pickup. This lady is absolutely so well respected in the industry, and she has the knowledge to help you. So please call for an appointment, 312-0957. Right now, the Capital Press Ag Minute.
Today's Ag Minute brought to you by the Capital Press, the West Ag Weekly.
Heavy rain that pelted much of the Pacific Northwest and Northern California in late May did not significantly ease the drought situation. Federal Water Monitor said rain increases topsoil moisture and temporarily reduces the need for irrigation during what was an unusually cold, wet month, but provided negligible long-term relief from drought, according to the USDA's Natural Resource Conservation Service. Areas that don't have storage reservoirs didn't benefit. Rain waters your lawns, but snow fills your reservoirs, as an NRCS official in Utah told the news media. Hydrologists have warned for months that 2015 would be a bad year for drought because mountain snowpack levels were so low across the West. For the Capital Press Ag Minute, I am Raul Peña.
For more agriculture news and information, turn to the West Ag Weekly, the Capital Press, and Capital Press.
Okay, thank you very much, and brought to you by Mount Harrison Audiology. This lady really understands hearing or the lack of and can help you. Call for a screening of your hearing today at 312-0957, Mount Harrison Audiology, right behind the Minidoka Hospital, across from the emergency room. I absolutely suggest that you do that right away. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. You know, I got to tell you this. ISIS, and we're seeing the expansion right here to our own country. And this morning on the news, folks, come on, it's time to get up and smell the coffee right now. Think about this. This morning on the news, they were talking about how ISIS is figuring out ways, and they have intercepted messages about ISIS talking to people here in this country about smuggling a nuclear bomb into our southern border and across the border and up here into the United States. We do not live in Alice in Wonderland books anymore. This is not safe. The government is not doing its job to protect us. The Obama administration and previous administrations were lackluster in making sure that our borders were closed. We are seeing something happening that's growing into a killing machine against us because they hate us. And to show you the hate and the vile that these people have, the ISIS, they are vermin. They are now cutting off the water supply. Hang on, caller, I'll be right there. They are now cutting off the water supply from the Euphrates River to tens of thousands of people in that area to let them die of thirst and no water whatsoever. My suggestion to the Obama administration is get up off your lazy butts and start developing a strategy to get rid of, bomb these people, kill these people, shoot these people, whatever you need to do, because they have to be exterminated. They are a pall on mankind right now. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. How are you today?
I'm fine, Jerry. What can I do for you?
Well, you know, I'm going to make a comment about that nuclear bomb thing. I think it would be very easy for any country to smuggle something like that into this country, and they prove it every day by the number of illegal aliens that come across that border.
Absolutely.
Every one of them sneak across and come here and are given many, many privileges for being here. And it just shows to me if they can get across, anything can get across that border.
Absolutely.
And they get across in the millions.
Absolutely.
It's just ridiculous we don't have more security on our borders.
I could not agree with you more. Jerry, just a minute. I could not agree with you more. I absolutely, as a taxpayer in this country, and have been for many, many years, why are my taxes going to a frivolously stupid government right now that will not protect its people, will not protect the taxpayers, will not protect the sovereignty of our nation, will not. They won't do it, and we're not demanding it. I don't understand why the problem can't be solved at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
I don't either. And as far as the police officers go, I've supported them for years, and I'll keep supporting them. I know a heck of a lot of them, and they're all good guys. Once in a while, you'll get a rotten apple, but they're so far and few between. I wouldn't let them taint my thoughts at all.
I agree with you, Jerry, and I always look forward to hearing from you, my dear friend. God bless you and have a good day, okay?
May the Lord bless and keep on keeping on.
All right, Jerry. Thank you so much. Real quick, and I'll take some more phone calls. I've got another story that'll drive you nuts about Hillary in just a minute. Ramsey Heating and Electric offering rebates on qualified Lennox home comfort systems. Whether it's a gas furnace, air conditioner, or a heat pump, you and your family will always enjoy the comfort. That's right. Call them at 678-0459. Ramsey Heating and Electric. They can save you money with warm winters and cool summers with Lennox at Ramsey Heating and Electric. And by the way, this is June Dairy Month, and we want to give a compliment to our June Dairy Month supporters and sponsors. And next week, we're going to be giving away some special giveaways from Dairy Queen, so stay tuned next week. Dairy Queen at 2200 Overland Avenue in Burley and 5055 Lincoln and Jerome, and the all-new Jurassic Smash Blizzard with smashed up peanut butter cookies and cookie dough. It's delicious! You better get in there to Dairy Queen today, and we're going to be giving away some specials next week, so stay tuned for that. And they salute June Dairy Month, along with Golden Valley Warehouse, 468 West, 1000 South of Burley. Royal and his crew, really nice people, and so supportive of various events during the year, like June Dairy Month. And don't forget, commercial and custom processor of grain, beans, and seed, and they also custom clean your own seed at Golden Valley Warehouse. And they wish everybody a very happy and fun-filled June Dairy Month. Thank you very much. All right, calls welcome. 436-2244-1866. 927-4587. I almost forgot the long-distance toll-free number. You know, this deal with Hillary, why are we accepting this? I do not understand why the Democrats and the Democratic Party leadership hasn't told Miss Frumpy, Hillary Clinton, that, hey, lady, you're sinking in the polls of people that do not like you. Now she is at only a 41% approval rate. She is at only a 41% favorability rate, and she's falling. Some political experts think she might even slip below 40% next week and go into the 30s. And it's because of things like this. And I don't mind if she slips into the 30s. I don't mind if she slips into the 20s. I don't want her even to get a look at the presidential nomination and possibly be president. I don't like her. And the press was notified at a Hillary Clinton speech in Houston, Texas, that, let me read the notice to you for the press that was there covering her speech. They were told that her speech will be the press interview. Listen to this sign that was posted in big letters for the press to adhere to. Attention, working press. You must stay within the barricades once you enter the arena. There will be media-only restrooms located down the hall to the left of the media area. The arena has wireless internet, and the login and password will be displayed on the tables. There will be no opportunities to interview Hillary Clinton. Her speech will be her interview. And we're accepting this. The media is accepting. There should be a clamor, there should be an outrage, there should be a cry hither and yon to throw her out of any possibility of nomination. She's not a queen. She's not above answering questions. She needs to be asked about Benghazi. She needs to be asked about her emails. She needs to be asked about the money going to the Clinton Foundation. She needs to be asked about all of her sordid past. Nobody's able to ask her. She's elevated herself to a queen status where the peons will absolutely do what I tell them to do. Does this not offend you? I mean, I'm sitting here this morning, and I would absolutely love to be able to have Hillary somewhere close that I could go and somehow get up close to where the microphones might pick it up and shout out a question to her and let everybody hear how she is not going to pay any attention, how she absolutely is above everybody else. This woman doesn't belong to be the city dog catcher. Your calls, your thoughts. Give me a jingle, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. Caller right there, hang on. Minnecash Sales bringing you Dr. History every Tuesday at 10:06. I tell you what, Minnecash Sales, Zach and the rest of the crew over there, Zach Attack, they're always out there working hard for you with all your lumber packages and your shingles and the upgrade of your windows. They got those Western windows. They're really, really good. And all good quality carpet, Tartar gates and panels. Wow, it's all there at Minnecash Sales, 1321 East Main in Burley. Number to call, 878-2091. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Zeb?
Yes.
If old Hillary is to tell them what to do now, what do you think it will be like when she gets to be president?
Bob, wait a minute. First of all, your point's well taken, but why is the American people, and I don't want a snide answer, I want a straight-up answer on this. Why are the American people so doggone dumb that they will accept this kind of attitude and this kind of a hierarchy, holier than you and I attitude from somebody that's running for the presidency? How dare she?
Zeb, if I gave you a straight-up answer, you'd get cut off of the air.
Well, that might be true, Bob, but we, the American people...
I really can't tell you, Zeb. I don't know what in the world is going on. It's terrible.
Well, it's worse than that. We, the American... And we're accepting it. We really are the ones that are at fault, Bob. You know that.
Yep. But you know what? I'm not accepting it. I wouldn't abide by her if she said to go get a drink of water.
Well, I can't argue with that. I am so repulsed by the Democrats and what they're trying to push on us with Hillary Clinton. And I honest to goodness, it gets me so emotional. I think my blood pressure is about 180 over 100 right now.
I understand. But, you know, we got some Republicans that's just as bad.
I'm not going to argue that point either. We need, like I said the other day on the program, a great big broom and a dust mop and a great big dustpan to clean this mess up.
We need a great big 100-head cattle truck to go back there and get old Baber and the rest of them and haul them all out. I don't know what to do with it.
Well, I don't either, Bob. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. God bless you, man. Thanks.
Right.
You know, the outrage of this woman thinking that she can be so queenly. And she comes on like, I'm Miss Frumpy, and I'll do as I wish. And my little peon friends here, you can smile, you can wave, you can clap. I'll come up and give my little speech. You'll accept that. You will not ask me questions. I'm above you. My name is Hillary Clinton. How dare we be this naive and dumb to even think about considering that woman for president? What's the matter with us? Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. You know, a lot of us, we talk about certain situations, but we actually pick up the phone or make the emails, and because every one of us that makes those calls represents about at least 1,000 people. So we all have the opportunity to call Mike Simpson's office, and that is 734-7219, and that's the local number here in Twin Falls. And they're going to be voting on fast track, and so we need to have hundreds of calls coming into that office or get hold of this Washington office, send out the emails,
Let's get it done, folks.
All right, well, I'm off track on that subject this morning, but I do agree with you that I need to see this fast trade, free trade bill canceled and thrown in the dirt. I agree with you that. Adrian, thank you very much. I got to get the weather on.
You're up. Have a good day.
All right, sir. Yeah, that free trade bill. The more I study it, the more I look at it, the more I think it's going to do less for us, the United States of America. Hey, Nicole Pratt and her family at Mad River Laser. Oh, my goodness, Daddy's Day is right around the corner, and all the parades and happenings this summer where you might need business promotional items made up. And for Father's Day, the barbecue kits and the aprons that say, Dad, we love you, you're a great cook, but don't cook very often. And coffee mugs and all the buck knives and everything. Oh, please, get a hold of Mad River Laser. That lady is so good. 502 East Street in Rupert. Number to call, 436-2293, Mad River Laser. Here now, Michael Rogers weather.
Hi, everyone. Michael Rogers for Zeb of the Ranch. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs for today all the way through the weekend. Yeah, that was the name of a movie that they take. Well, the weather guy in the movie said cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Well, pretty much got the same thing. Isolated showers today, and then it's going to be cloudy chance of showers all the way through Monday. Your daytime highs will be the upper 70s. Your overnight lows will be in the low 50s. Nothing as far as severe in the forecast. No gusty winds or anything else of that nature. So basically, it's going to be a yucky weekend. But as I stated before in Idaho, nobody complains about rain this time of year because you need the water. Yep, have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. It's the only way you got.
All right, thank you very much, Michael, and our thanks go out to our friends at Mad River Laser. You bet. These are phenomenal folks and the best at what they do. Mad River Laser, 502 East Street in Rupert, 436-2293. You know, here's something that really bugs me this morning. There are many students that are graduating from high school right now in college, and parents are absolutely ecstatic that their children persevered, and there are a lot of students in both high school and college. It was a tough road to hoe, and they really persevered, put forth their best foot. They got that diploma. Well, a family, and I just saw the video a little bit this morning, a family was sitting in the bleachers of a high school graduation. And their son went across the stage and got his diploma and turned and smiled up at his family. And the father shouted out, "You did it! You did it! Way to go!" You're not going to believe this next part. The superintendent of the schools was so offended by that outcry that he is pressing for charges to be filed against the family and a $500 fine for being disruptive at the graduation ceremony. What? I mean, we've lost our humanity. We've lost our ability to show love and congratulations. And the father, Dad, way to go, you did it. So proud of that son. And he blurted it out. And now the superintendent and the school board want to press charges against the family for a $500 fine for being disruptive. Some of these power-hungry administrators in our school systems need a good trip behind the barn for a personality adjustment. What are your thoughts? I mean, should these graduation ceremonies be so straight-laced and so absolutely perfect that if anybody shows any personality or anybody shows any kind of, exuberance, that they might be threatened with a fine, arrest for public disruption or disturbance at a graduation ceremony? What? Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb. I think 99 and 9/10% of the trouble in these schools are these supervisors and the superintendents. They don't know Adam's lost fox and the devil to bring his own on. You know what I mean?
I do, but did you see the story I'm referring to?
Yes, I did. I've seen everything, and I'm sick and tired. They're not letting the kids be disciplined. They're not teaching nothing but terror and all that crap. I watched the kids in school beating up on a teacher, And what does the supervisor do? Nothing.
Nothing.
That's what I mean. If you can't control them snot-nosed kids, then we're in a whole lot of trouble. And I say superintendents and teachers, get the hell out of the business. Let somebody else do it that can do it.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Go back to what the original caller number 2, stand by just a minute. I'll respond to this. Here was a family where the kid had some trouble getting through school. He finally graduated, and the father blurted out, "Attaboy, I'm proud of you. Way to go." Man, and then to come back on the family with a $500 fine for being disruptive, that's as brain dead as it gets.
I know it, and it's not right. That's what I mean. I think there should be a whole shake-up on this school system, on these supervisors, superintendents, and all these school boards, because they're not doing the job they're supposed to be.
I agree. Al, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
The old devil's on his way back.
Get the cookies. All right.
Bye.
All right. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, Zeb.
Yes, sir.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous that people can't, show how much they care about kids at school now and how much they care about their achievements and all.
Absolutely.
And, it gets even worse. More and more schools now are even discouraging kids from forming close friendships with each other as well.
Yeah, what you just said about showing some exuberance and showing how proud they are, I think that if you've got to walk into a graduation ceremony and at the door they give you a piece of duct tape to wear over your mouth and they tell you can't get up and go to the restroom, you got to sit there like little wooden statues, oh my gosh, what kind of a world are we celebrating here when there's an achievement of graduation and they can't say or do anything or clap their hands or do any noise whatsoever? What kind of nonsense is this?
Well, just shows how far downhill it's gotten. I think you're right. Some people need a trip out to the woodshed.
There you go. Caller, thank you. I appreciate it. God bless you.
Okay, bye.
Oh, my gosh. I mean, for heaven's sakes, if they'd have done something like throwing baseballs all over the room and trying to hit come on. Attaboy. Way to go. We're proud of you. And then they get a $500 fine and possibly arrested for public disruptiveness at a graduation ceremony. Oh, come on. Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation, 1263 Bennett Avenue, Suite 2 in Burley, right behind Dr. Crane's office. And I'll tell you what, Nick Greenwell and all of his very professional staff, they know the exercises. They know the sports medicine. They've got the hydrotherapy pool. I mean, with the treadmill in the bottom to help you getting back to feeling like you. Please call them today for an appointment. They are the best at Burley Physical Therapy and Rehabilitation in Burley. The number for an appointment, 678-1191. Call them today. Come on. Maybe you think I'm wrong. Maybe we should all go into those ceremonies and we should sit there like little statues, and then we should, when they want a little bit of applause for something, we go, "Oh, yes, thank you. So dainty. Like we're at the opera. Nobody says anything. Nobody moves. I have to go to the bathroom. No, you can't. You can't get up. You'll be disruptive." Oh, give me a break. Calls are welcome, 436-2244, 1-866-927-4587. I like your call. I also want to tell you what happened at Walt Disneyland. I got to get into this if I can. I don't know how much time I'm going to have. Stand by. Our Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you, and service is the key word. Now, I know you're going to be traveling. I know you're going to be on the road. I know you're going to make a trip back east or a trip to California, whatever. Be ready to go for summer travel by stopping in to any one of the 7 Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers for the best in tires, bar none, the best. The best in front end alignments, bar none. The best in shocks and struts, the best in brake service and batteries, bar none, they're the best. But they're always the best in service to you. Stop in and see Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family in Paul, John on Pole Line in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland in Burley. The best. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Real quick, I got to tell you this story if I can get it in. I won't have time the rest of the morning. The gist of it is, that Disneyland is firing 250 employees that work in their computer departments, and they gave the pink slips to about 250 employees, and they were told last fall in late October that they were going to be laid off. And here's the funny part. Their jobs were going to be taken over by people from foreign countries coming in, many of which are illegals coming into this country. But in order to get your paycheck for the full period of time that you're employed, the people that were working at Disneyland had to train the people that were coming in to take their jobs. What? This is nuts. I'm not making it up. 250 Disney employees were told that their jobs were being transferred to immigrants that were coming in on temporary visas, and that they were highly skilled technical workers, but they were going to take over their jobs. But in order to get the remainder of your paycheck, you have to train the people that are coming in. Want to bet? Holy smokes. I've got a 6-page story on this that was sent to me by a dear friend of mine back east at one of my media outlets. This is completely crazy. And this is what's happening in America. We as Americans are sitting back and taking this garbage, and nobody's saying anything or doing anything about it. Good morning, caller. Quickly, I got a minute left. Talk to me, caller. I've got 1 minute left.
I can hear you.
I can hear you. Go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the exact same thing happened at Con Ed in California at the power company. They're doing the exact same thing. They got to train their replacements.
Oh, my gosh. What kind of lunacy is that? You know what I'd do? I think I might train them the wrong way.
That's exactly what I would do.
There you go. I got to run to the news, my friend. Thank you very much. This training the people after you've been fired, and they've hired these people, and they're not from within the confines of the United States. They're coming in from other countries. Are you kidding me? Oh, the New York Times carried this story, and if you want to look up this, it was written by Julia Preston, and it says pink slips at Disney, but first, training foreign replacements. Look it up, read it. It's about a 6-page story. Unbelievable. Ay, 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 ay. I got to run. I'll be back in 6. Zeb at the Ranch. Don't go away. Oh, my. Here we go. Hour number 2, Zeb at the Ranch. And good morning, I'm Zeb Bell with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley, Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you. Along with some of our great advertisers, Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley, and our friends at Valley Wine Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch. In just a moment, we're going to scoot on over to the Minnecasia Chamber of Commerce, so stand by. But first and foremost, want to remind you about our dear friends, Joel Heward, his family, and his staff at Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert. You know, they have very flexible hours, and they can be where you need them. That's right. They can travel to rural towns and churches and help you with the arrangements when there's the passing of a loved one. You do not have to always come to them. Hanson Mortuary, 710 6th Street in Rupert, with the highest ethical standards and unquestioned integrity in serving you and your family. Please call them today at 436-5636. That number again, 436-5636. Thank you. Hey, by the way, too, I want to remind everybody, I got to make a little check mark here so I don't forget. It is June Dairy Month, and June Dairy Month, of course, is celebrated by Smith's Food King and Smith's Food and Drug, of course, 937 East Main in Burley. You can get Mountain Dairy, a gallon of milk for just $2 for $4. Oh, my goodness, there's a special for you. And a great big pail of delicious ice cream for just $4.99. Right there at Smith's Food and Drug, 937 East Main in Burley. Along with AMI, 710 Overland in Burley. These are the people that have all the bolts, the nuts, and the hardware. AMI has it all. So also all your fastener needs, too, at AMI in Burley. Wishing you and yours a very happy and fun time, June Dairy Month. Thank you. Right now, let's go on the phone line over to the Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce as she's sitting there in that great, big, fluffy leather chair, lean back, looking out the window, watching the ducks float down the river. Here's Kay Cameron.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great, and you?
Not too bad. What's going on at the Chamber of Commerce?
Well, I have to say, I got up this morning early and stepped outside. It's going to be a beautiful day in Mini-Cassia land.
Oh, it is. It is.
It's a perfect day. So, summer is upon us. School is out. There's kids about. I know we've talked about that. We've talked about other things, but I've got a list of things I want to talk about today. We've had quite a few moms come in our office this week, and me being a mom myself, I have a fabulous gal that's taking care of my kids. She comes to my home. She takes them to go do things. What is there to do with kids, grandkids, visitors that come to our community this summer? So I've got a list of things. People want to know, what can I do with my kids? What can we go participate in? What activities are going on? So I've got some things I want to share with you just to give all the listeners an idea of all the great things that we have in our community.
All right, go ahead.
So first of all, if you have any children or grandchildren that are interested in becoming a babysitter and want to kind of start, into that profession, I guess you would say, Minidoka Memorial Hospital is offering a safe sitter class tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, call Minidoka Hospital, get information on it, but it's a program that teaches kids from ages 11 to 13 how to handle an emergency when you're caring for young children. And so really, if you have even if they're caring for your own children, it would be a great opportunity. What do they do if they stop breathing or if they're choking, and how do you call for help, and some basic care skills and those kinds of things. Call Minidoka Hospital, Safe Sitter Class. It's tomorrow morning, so call them and get some more information on that. A great opportunity to say, hey, we know this. Okay, so what do you do with your kids all summer long while they're out of school? There's lots and lots of things. First of all, first thing I did this week, I went to the public library and I got my kids a library card. They offer really inexpensive. I paid $2 for 2 library cards for my kids, and they have programs all summer long. They have a summer reading program, and I know the DeMary Library over in Rupert has programs as well. But I was at the Burley Public Library. They have all kinds of activities all summer long, but they have this reading program that's great. My kids have to read so many books per week. Every week they go in, they get signed up to win all kinds of prizes, and it's fabulous. It keeps them reading. It keeps their interest. They have an opportunity to check out books, every time they go, and great. So public libraries in both Burley and Rupert, they've got great programs, great things, and it's educational, but don't tell the kids that because we don't want them to know. Check out the College of Southern Idaho. They have some great summer camps. They have a science camp that is spectacular that they do every year, and I think it's from ages kindergarten to 7th grade. I know they've got art camps. They've got a whole list of things. So for kids, but also for adults, they have great community ed. But check out the College of Southern Idaho, the Mini-Cassia Center here. See what they have to offer. Now there's swimming lessons that are starting up. I've got my kids going in their swimming lessons already. We just are surrounded by water in the Mini-Cassia area, and it's so important to get your kids trained on how to swim and to save themselves if they're ever in that type of a situation. But any of the local pools here in the community, they're going to be offering swimming lessons, so you can check that out.
Okay.
Another fun thing to do, disc golf. Disc golf it's a type of frisbee. There are 3 disc golf courses in our community. You don't pay to play disc golf. You just need to have some discs with you to play. Neptune Park in Rupert. Pomerelle has a disc golf course when they get opened up about the 4th of July. And Lake Walcott has a fabulous one, and I was just out there a couple weeks ago for a field trip, and my kids love disc golf. They think it's super fun. Great, fun, inexpensive way to spend an afternoon or a morning or a weekend or whatever. And speaking of Walcott, something that everybody should be aware of is you can go to the Department of Motor Vehicles or when you register your car and get a passport for your vehicle. And this passport allows you admission to any state park across the state of Idaho. $10 a year. It's a great thing because you pay $5 a day if you don't have the passport.
That's right.
The sticker on your window. So $10 gives you admission to any state park in Idaho.
Okay.
Great thing.
Wow, you've got a list that goes on and on. You've got a lot of things to do.
I have more. There's more.
Yeah, but I ran out of time. I'm sorry. I'll tell you what. Let's get you back on in the next couple of days for a special session, and we'll finish this again. How's that?
Okay, yes. And come in and see us because we have our hands in everything. We know what's going on. So come by and see us in Hayburn. We're located at 1177 7th Street. We'll give you more information. Give us a call at 208-679-4793. Find us online at minicashachamber.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. But come in and see us because we'll share more.
I tell you what, you are great. Kay Cameron, Mini-Cassia Chamber of Commerce, thank you. I'll call you back, get you back on for a special session. Thank you very much.
Great, thanks.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. I tell you, that lady's got a lot of things for people to do this summer with all the kids out of school, a lot of fun times. Hey, don't forget, too, the Relay for Life, and that's coming up on June 19th and 20th, Mini-Cassia Relay for Life, and it's going to be at the Cassia County Fairgrounds on June 19th, starting at 6 p.m. with the opening ceremony and going all the way through the evening till the next day on the 20th. And as I said earlier this morning, the Mini-Cassia Relay for Life is looking for more teams to come on board and as well as new committee members. So how about contacting Patty Shockey at 670-2975, okay? And help support money for cancer research with the Mini-Cassia Relay for Life. We're going to get our next guest on the phone in just a moment. Stand by. I want to remind everybody about Let's Ride, Highway 24 between Rupert and Hayburn. Holy cow, they've got all kinds of things going over there. They've got the new watercraft in, so you can have fun on the water, on the river, on the lake, whatever. And if you don't have, or you already have a watercraft, and maybe before you hit the water, you need to get it serviced, hey, they've got an excellent service department over there at Let's Ride, where the fun is sold. And don't forget, they've got all the 4x4s. My goodness, there's going to be a lot of having fun outside this summer. So check it out at Let's Ride. Super nice people that can help you at 270 Highway 24 between Rupert and Burley. And next Monday, we're going to have Dennis on the air, and we're going to be talking about a poker run that's coming up pretty quick. Hey, you don't want to miss that. Let's Ride. Highway 24 between Rupert and Hayburn, where the fun is sold. With my sore throat this morning, I apologize. Right now, we're going to go to the phone line, and we have a lady that is right now really busy getting everything ready for the Idaho Regatta, and that's Christy Dilworth. Good morning, Christy. How are you?
Good morning, Zeb. I'm great. How are you?
Oh, thank you much. Okay, we're just a matter of days away from the 2015 Idaho Regatta, and give us kind of a prelude, a preview of what's going to happen at the regatta this year on the dates June 25th all the way through, the 28th?
Yeah, we've got lots in store, lots of events going on that kind of extended weekend. We've got a fish fry and show and shine on the square in Rupert on Thursday, June 25th from 6 to 10. Come and check out the boats and get some fish to help helps the historic Wilson Theater Restoration Project, and just kind of say hello. And lots of other things will be happening. I think that there's going to be a small little craft fair going on out there, too. You don't want to miss our boat parade. That's going to be Friday morning. We're going to be doing a meet and greet at Smith's Food and Drug at 9:30 on Friday, June 26th. The parade starts at 10, and then we just make a path down through downtown Burley. And then we just get started down at the race site with our testing and tuning, and then we've got qualifying heats and final heats that afternoon, and then we've got our flat bottom Grand Prix shootout. That is something you do not want to miss. That is some heart-pumping, fast boats that go head-to-head for quite a bit of a big purse. And then Saturday and Sunday is just our full days of racing. And you just come hang out, be in the, have fun in the sun, and bring your family and just have a great time.
You know, Christy, I had a caller call up last week when I was mentioning the regatta, and they said, well, what do we need to take when we go to watch the races? Do we have to bring food? Do we have to bring, what do they have to bring, or what's going to be there?
Okay, that's a great question. We do welcome people to just come and hang out. What I would recommend if they didn't want to worry about food, we do have lots of food vendors that will be down there that they can just go ahead and support our vendors that will be there. I would definitely recommend chairs, like just some camp chairs,
right.
An awning if you have it, just to kind of get yourself out of the sun, because usually it's pretty hot. Sunscreen is a big thing you don't want to forget, and you want to make sure if you want to access the pit area, and you're able to do that as long as you sign a waiver, and there is a small fee, you want to make sure to bring closed-toed shoes. That's really important. We had a lot of people last year that were kind of disappointed that, they only had open-toed shoes and they weren't able to access those pits and go and talk to the racers and look at the boats just right there in the pit area.
All right. And what about the awards ceremony and banquet? Tell us a little bit about that so people that want to attend, they can.
Right, our awards banquet. I wanted to go back to bringing what to bring. If they do want to bring coolers, we do allow coolers to come in, food, drinks, just as long as there's no glass. No glass is permitted down at the event site.
Okay.
Moving on to the awards ceremony, we are going to have that actually at the race site after the race concludes on Sunday. We have always told that the public is welcome to come and hang out and watch the racers receive their awards. We will have an all-you-can-eat barbecue dinner that is going to be served, and you can find more information about that on our website, idahoregatta.org.
You know what? It sounds like it is going to be a lot of fun. The Idaho Regatta for this year, starting on Thursday, June 25th, and going through the weekend. And we're going to have Christy on again next week, and we're going to be talking right up to the beginning of the regatta. Christy Dilworth, thank you so much, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much.
All right, God bless. Take care. Nice lady right there, Christy Dilworth, with the Idaho Regatta coming up in Burley on June 25th through Sunday, June 28th. Going to be a lot of fun. I got to pay some bills here real quick. Don't forget our friends at Cameron and Siemens Insurance. Highway 24 in Rupert. Now, you just drive into Rupert, and there they are, Cameron Siemens Insurance. And Dean and Todd, always dedicated and very responsive to your needs, whether it's life insurance, whether it's health insurance, retirement planning, employee benefits. They can and they will help you. So call to make an appointment today, 436-4424. That number again, 436-4424. Cameron and Siemens Insurance, Highway 24 in Rupert. The professionals working for you. Let's see, what else have I got here real quick. I got to put a check mark. Things have been going a little bit fast for me this morning with my old sore throat. I apologize with that. And don't forget, too, our friends at Ramsey Heating and Electric offering qualified rebates on Lennox home comfort systems. Whether it's a gas, I choked on my cough drop there for a minute. You probably noticed that. Whether it's a gas furnace, air conditioner, or a heat pump, you and your family will enjoy the comfort. Don't forget, call Ramsey's at 678-0459, where they provide warm winters and cool summers with Lennox, Ramsey Heating and Electric. Where did all these dogs come from? Holy smokes, they're all over the place. Would somebody get the poodle off of my good Easy Boy? Thank you very much, my Lazy Boy recliner. There you go. Good morning, Officer Ken Mort with Minidoka Animal Control. How are you?
Good morning, Zeb. I'm doing great. How about yourself?
We missed you last week, but I got to tell you, old Wheels did a good job.
I was hoping he would. I figured he would.
Yeah, he did. And by the way, what about those puppies that we had last week? Did they find homes?
Yes, they did. As a matter of fact, they were gone within 24 hours of us taking them in.
Don't you ever tell me that the power of radio on the Zeb Bell program doesn't work.
It does. It works great. Matter of fact and stuff, and it works so well, I want to put out there on that little thing. I got a phone call the other day asking about if Idaho had any law about having dogs in parked cars.
Yeah.
The law doesn't actually specify parked cars. What it specifies is that it could be considered animal cruelty.
Yeah.
And that if a dog or animal is subject to any inhumane treatment, which if you leave dogs in a parked car and the windows are rolled up and those temperatures out there, people don't realize temperatures outside and stuff and that may be nice around 70, 75, 80 degrees, but inside that car it could be anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees hotter.
Absolutely.
So you're basically baking those dogs inside those cars. So people out there that are like to take their loved one or their furry loved ones and stuff and that with them need to take into consideration and stuff, and as they're going to be in some place for a period of time, they need to make sure that they've got those windows cracked, they've got ability to have some airflow through there, and are making sure that these dogs aren't being overheated and that, because it doesn't take as long, or it takes less time for a dog on that to wind up having heat stroke than it does a human.
Yeah. I was just going to say, like Deanne and I do with our little Ruby, we always give Ruby the keys so she can turn the AC on and off.
There you go.
She's smart enough to do it, too.
Yeah, and then on another note, the papers and also from your show has actually helped out quite a bit with receiving donations to help with the purchase of kennels. So far, we've raised just over $2,100.
Oh, my.
And that towards the purchase of these kennels. We are still on that short. I'm supposed to be hearing back from D.L. Evans Bank today. They are going to let me know exactly how much they are going to be donating.
Oh, wonderful.
I got told yesterday that they are donating money and stuff and that to help purchase kennels. So, I mean, we're still, like I say, we're still a ways away from our $10,000 goal to be able to get all these kennels purchased. So if anybody's interested in helping us with purchasing these kennels, they can contact me at 670-7268, or they can contact the facility at 438-2200. And on that same note, during the 4th of July week over in Rupert, from the 2nd through the 4th, I'm going to be setting up a table over there at the Rupert Square. I've already got it blessed off. I'm looking for raffle items and silent auction items. We're going to be selling raffle tickets, $2 a ticket or 3 for $5. Basically, all this money is going to go to help with getting these kennels, and anything over what we come up with being able to purchase the kennels are going to go right into being able to purchase dog food, purchase bedding, purchase things that we need for the facility. So if anybody's got items out there that they're wanting to donate to silent auction or to the raffle, please get in contact with me, and we will gladly take anything and everything that we can get to be able to help us out with that.
Mm-hmm.
On a third note on that...
Boy, you're just going along like an old Victrola record player.
Yes, I am. One of the rescues and stuff in that here locally that helps us out quite a bit, they provide a free spay and neuter for us each month, and that for the first dog adopted out. They actually have, as Wagon Tails Rescue, they are having their annual yard sale this Friday and Saturday at 702 18th Street in Rupert from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
They've got all sorts of stuff on that. This helps with getting us our free spay and neuters each month, and then also helps with doing low-cost spay and neuter programs that they actually have. People can apply for those.
Whoa! Let's emphasize they're for the dogs, right?
Yes.
Oh, please! I want you to really highlight that.
Yes, it's for the dogs and cats. I mean, from what I've understood and stuff, and by what they mean by low cost spay and neuter, by the time it's all said and done, the individual that has the dog or cat that needs to be spayed or neutered, it winds up costing them like $25.
Okay, all right.
So they've got all sorts of different items. They've got books, they've got fabrics, they've got recliner, food processors, bread makers, porcelain dolls, surround sound system, all sorts of different things. I mean, they got a lot of stuff in that was donated to them for this yard sale to help raise money to help with the spay and neuter program that's going on in our area.
Okay, I got a question for you. And this lady called me last week on my day off, Friday, and she asked this, and it's a good question worth pondering and thinking about. She said, out in the country where they live, she said, on occasion, we will see like 2 and 3 dogs standing on the intersection of a road or standing off in the barrel pit. Should they be concerned that maybe they're drop-offs and contact you, or what should they do, or just leave them alone?
Yes, if they're not sure if that dog belongs to somebody, contact Annette, the animal control, or the local sheriff's department, especially out in the country area, and Annette, because they may have been dropped off. They may be have gotten away from home and have gotten themselves lost. I mean, a lot of times I've actually went out to those areas when I've gotten called and have wound up being able to chase the dogs down and gotten them back home.
I see.
On that. Okay. So it's just make sure to get a hold of your animal control officers or your local sheriff's department out in those areas, just to because you never know. It could be abandoned dogs, or they could just be lost, or they're just a little ways from home and out on a walkabout.
Yeah, but you know something, Ken, and we've talked about this, and I've only got a minute left. I'll say this quickly. Many, many, many times you'll be going down the interstate, or you'll be going down Highway 30 or whatever it might be, and you'll see a forlorn-looking, very lost, lonely dog sitting in the barrel pit, and you know doggone well that somebody dropped him off.
A lot of times that is the case, and there are times and stuff in that the people have stopped. Matter of fact, we had a concerned individual. They had stopped passing through our area and had gotten out of their vehicle to go do something, and as they were getting out, they didn't realize that their furry friend had gotten out with them.
I see.
And had wandered off, and they jumped back in their vehicle, started driving down the road, realized that the dog was gone, and turned around, went back, couldn't find the dog, contacted us, and luckily we've actually been able to recover most of them that we've had that situation with.
Okay. Now, tell everybody how they can get a hold of Minidoka Animal Control.
They can reach us at our facility at 438-2200, or they can contact me on my cell phone at 670-7268.
It's good to have you back on the air.
It's good to be back on the air.
All right, and boy, you just sounded like you had a litany like War and Peace, a novel to read this morning, and you did a very good job, too.
Well, thank you. I've been practicing.
I could tell. And he's a good singer, too. All right, Ken Mort, Animal Control of Minidoka County, and where did all these dogs come from anyway? Holy smokes. Attaboy, Ken Mort, good old buddy of mine, and Minidoka Animal Control. Excellent job this morning. Let's see, I got to check my list here. I think I'm up to speed, and at 9:30 in the morning on Thursdays, that means we get a chance to talk to a lovely lady that knows all about politics and world happenings. Good morning, Rita Ramsey. How are you?
Good morning. I'm real good.
You know, Rita, this is one of the very few times you'll kind of see me all flustered and not really ready to go, because I literally have a list of over 23 different subjects that you and I could get into this morning. The world seems like it's fallen apart, and good versus evil. Holy cow, where do you start?
I don't know. It's just one of those things where you feel like you're in one of those batting cages, and the machine that's pitching the balls all of a sudden went loose and just started just pitching them to you so fast, and you can't get it to stop.
Well, what did you think, honestly, about the police commissioner in Baltimore getting up in front of the podium yesterday and basically looking into the cameras and talking to the newsmen and saying, "It's so bad here, all hands on deck. Nobody gets any leave, nobody gets any vacation, nobody gets any sick leave, all hands on deck. The robberies, the murders, the drug thefts, everything is spiking so bad. What's going on here?"
Well, he obviously should have thought about that before he threw all of his police officers under the bus. And that's exactly what he did. And now this is the consequences of what happens when you don't take control and you let it get out of control, rather, I should say. Because it wasn't that he didn't take control, he just let it get out of control on purpose. But that's what happens when you get a bunch of people, and oftentimes they're liberals who think, oh, let's just talk about it, everything's going to be fine. Let those people have their space. Let them go ahead and ruin things, and then we'll come in and clean it up, and we'll all be happy ever after. Well, that's not what happened, because it's just grown and grown and grown, and the police officers absolutely do not want to be stuck in the middle, so they're saying, you know what? We're going to do what we have to do, basic, and that's it.
Yeah, but Rita, wait a minute. There's a caveat here that I wanted to ask you, and you're going to probably think I'm nuttier than a fruitcake when I say this. I said it first hour. Maybe you've had a chance to mull it over. But when you look at Chicago, it's a war zone. It's a killing zone. You look at New York City, crime has spiked 113%. You look at Baltimore. You look at Philadelphia. You look at all the major cities right now where crime is absolutely running rampant. And I said first hour, it makes you wonder if maybe this isn't an orchestrated attempt to get everything out of control and then bang, federalize police and martial law.
Oh, absolutely, it is. And you get de Blasio and a bunch of other people in there trying to, we'll do this and we'll do that, and we're not going to go after this, and we're not going to enforce the laws, and we're going to quit doing this search and the instant search thing where they could just go up to somebody and say, could you take off your backpack and let us have a look at it, kind of things, to prevent a lot of that stuff from happening. When those kind of people get on board with the president, and you know that the word came right down from the president and the DOJ, that we're not going to do this and that and the other, we want things to get worse, that this is where we're at. And yes, it is about nationalizing the police departments. There are a lot of people who say, oh, no, that's absolutely not it. You'll even have local police departments say, no, there's nothing about that. But when they start looking at how much federalization has already happened, how many things they've bought into, how many of the grants and stuff they've got, and what are attached to those grants. See, that's what happens is they get pulled into these things. And say, oh, this is a grant for this and that and the other, and then they start finding out about all the strings that are attached. They're already partially federalized anyway, and it's just a matter of finishing it off. But no, that's absolutely right. They're going to try to say, everything's out of control and we've got to have the National Guard, or even we'll just send our regular military people in there to control that. But first of all, we're going to go in and we're going to go through your books and find out who's with us and who isn't. We'll get rid of the ones who aren't and keep the ones who are, and we'll be in charge from Washington at your sheriff's department.
This is a very serious situation right now. I know many, many, many people that are traveling this summer to go to possibly Washington, D.C., New York City, Chicago, Orlando, Florida, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, a lot of places on the East Coast. And they're afraid. They're afraid not only to get on the airliner because of all the threats that have been going to the airlines lately. They're afraid of the TSA and the boggled mess that they've created by not being able to find the bad guys and the potential weapons. They're afraid to go to these cities. They're afraid to walk down the street from their hotel motel to go wherever they have to go. This is America, and nobody's taking control, Rita.
Well, that's what they say, elections have consequences, and we're suffering some of them right now because it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it is way out of control. But this was what the plan was. You and I have talked about this before. Cloward and Piven, if anybody out there in the listening audience doesn't know about it, go in and read about it and find out. It's called overwhelming the system, to where people start saying, okay, I'll do anything. And pretty soon we're all beholden to those who overwhelmed us, and we're in trouble.
I got to ask you, and we seem to mention this every single week on the program for the last couple of weeks, Hillary. I mean, what in the world is this? You may or may not agree with me, but as she elevated herself to where she's already the queen, she's already on her throne, she already has her scepter, she's already saying what's going to be done and what's not going to be done. But did you hear about that sign they put up in Houston before her speech? Did you hear me last hour read that?
Oh, I didn't hear that. I was on the phone a lot.
Oh, let me read it to you, and then I want you to really express your point of view. First of all, when she spoke in Houston the other day, the head of her campaign told the reporters that Hillary's speech will be her interview. And then they posted these signs all over the arena floor where she was speaking, and it said, quote, American Working Press. You must stay within the barricades once you enter the arena. There will be media-only restrooms located down the hall to the left of the media area. The arena has wireless internet, and the login and password will be displayed on the tables. There will be no interviews or opportunities for interviews with Hillary Clinton. Her speech will be her interview. This is ludicrous that we're accepting this kind of garbage.
Kind of sounds like they're in Russia, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, this is the thing with Hillary that I've got my head just kind of shaking, wondering what's going on. You've got these various different people that are going to go ahead and run, and my big question is this so that they can really get rid of Hillary, or is it basically just a distraction so in the end Hillary will prevail? Or does the Democratic National Committee think that maybe if they get enough people in there, it will take the support from Hillary away to somebody else and they won't have to deal with Hillary? I just can't really figure out where they're coming from on this. This is really crazy because we all thought, and I think any Democrat you ever talked to a few months ago, well, Hillary's the one, and she's just the one that's chosen, and that's what we're going to go with. And all of a sudden, we've got all these other guys kind of creeping out of the woodwork and saying, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And so it's like, okay, is this orchestrated, or are they just saying, hey, I'm just going to be a good diversion away from what's going on with her because she is not going to answer questions, because she starts answering questions, she's in trouble. She's in big trouble.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Do you know in your neighborhood and circle of friends, honestly, some Democrats that live here in this area that have told you they can support her? I mean, have you ever talked to anybody lately that's, I think she's going to make a great president? Please tell me if you have, because we need to get these people psychiatric help.
To tell you the truth, I don't have any Democrat friends that I know of.
Imagine that.
Talk politics.
I love it. No, but now let me tell you this. You read the polls and everything, that Hillary is sinking so fast like a great big canoe with a hole in the bottom of it, that now she is only at a 41% favorability. That means that 51% of the people in this country don't like her very much. And can't they see this? Can't they understand the problem? Don't they know that she's got to start being more presidential instead of queenly?
Well, I think that's what my biggest question is about her is, okay, so if she's supposed to be the one and she's starting to drop in popularity and everything, maybe if they can get a diversion away from what's going on there and ultimately she'll be the one, because would you like to be a Democrat trying to get her out of there?
Oh, boy.
I mean, you might end up buried somewhere. I don't know.
Well, okay, let's go to the other side of the aisle for a moment. Now I think the number of Republicans that are running for president is like 120 or so. I mean, and two more are jumping in. I mean, this morning we had former governor of Texas, Rick Perry, jump in. And next, in a couple of weeks on the 15th, it's going to be Jeb Bush, who I wished would never get involved. I mean, the numbers are growing, and we've got an A level, a B level, a C level. Holy smokes, let's thin out the weeds and get somebody we can rely on. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, I think that will be what happens. Right now, I think it's not too bad for a bunch of them to put out there this and that and the other. When they start having debates in August, and that's the first Fox debate is going to be in August, and they're only going to have room for the top tier, of which right now they're saying 10 because there's a possibility of 20 people. They'll start weeding some of them out. I think that it's kind of good to hear from all of them, because some of them, it's just the same old thing, more government, 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 and yes, let's get in line so that we can do bigger government and more laws and everything else, instead of saying, you know what, we need to cut all of this down, because what conservatives really ought to be interested in is how they're going to reduce spending and reduce regulation so that we can do business as an American people. But that's not what the president's got on board right now, and he's hoping that none of this will come out. So I guess it's a good thing that that there's enough of them out there, that they're bringing some ideas in. We'll see how many of them actually coagulate and will do something. But we're a year and a half away from the election, so I'm kind of saying, well, we'll see what's going on. There's some of them you shake your head and you go, there is no way that Lindsey Graham is going to get enough votes to even start doing anything. So there's some crazy ones out there, really.
But, Rita, when we look at the news and we listen to the news, somebody has got to get through the American people's heads that we are living in desperate times. We're not living in Wonderland like Obama would lead us to believe. We have got a major problem. Maybe you don't agree with me, but every day when I get in my office at 4:30 in the morning and start going over all the news from New York and Washington, D.C., and I start reading about ISIS and the encroachment into this country and a black Muslim uncle and nephew that had a plan that was foiled, thank God, that they were going to go out and start beheading policemen in Boston. I mean, they're here, and we do not have any leadership that's addressing the problem.
You're absolutely right. People ought to be actually saying, should I head to the bunker now, or do I dare hold off for a little bit? Because we are in big trouble. This is the thing that's going on, is there's so many of these other things that are happening, and like I said, it kind of makes you wonder if these things are orchestrated, is that they're trying to pass and send through this trade thing, which isn't a trade thing at all. It's just giving the UN authority, and the UN will go after population reduction. They will be in charge of gun control, of which John Kerry and President Obama already signed that over to them.
That's right.
They didn't get it ratified by the Senate, but if they've already got the signed papers and things happen, they'll have control. And it all boils down to one thing, climate control. And those are the things that have to happen so that they can do their climate control thing. It's just a UN thing, and yet we're ignoring it. We're not paying attention to it. Most Americans don't have a clue. Most of the politicians don't even have a clue what's in that bill, because they won't let them look at it. You got to vote on it, but you can't look at it.
Yeah, it's another Nancy Pelosi statement. Well, we got to pass the bill before then we can sit down and read it and study it. What is the matter with us? The first three words of our Constitution, we the people. We are so gullible, we have turned into such a naive group of sheep that we're letting this happen. We should be burning up the phone lines. We should be picking up pitchforks and heading down Pennsylvania Avenue. These people are leading us into oblivion.
We absolutely should. And, you know, this isn't something new, because Jefferson and Adams had conversations and letters back and forth about this very thing. Jefferson said, anytime you have a bill, you've got to have it out there so everybody can read it and know what happens. You take it back in there. If you make a little change to it, you've got to put it back out there so everybody can read it and know what's going on with it. So they were actually fighting about it then. The problem is that nobody's fighting about that now. You would think that all of our Senate and Congress would be up in arms and saying, if you don't let us have access to this, you're getting a no vote, no all the way across. Instead, you've got, oh, okay, this looks like it ought to be good, and our very own senators are guilty of it.
I agree. Oh, my, I've got to calm down. My blood pressure is really high. I got to have a weather forecast real quick. Stand by, Rita. And it's brought to everybody this hour by Duck Ugly. Oh, I love this place. Great food. I mean, great food and great entertainment. Hey, this weekend, Friday and Saturday night, delicious smoked ribs, along with all the other great menu choices. Oh, the food. I would not be bragging on them if it wasn't true. They are fantastic. Friday and Saturday, delicious smoked ribs. And then, of course, entertainment. They've got great names like Ned Carter and Callie and Emily. And then on the, let's see, they got Barton and Bowler. They've got all kinds of people singing and paying and picking and grinning over there. You're going to love it. delicious meals, great entertainment at Duck Ugly's, 163 West Highway 30 in Burley. And now here's Michael Rogers' weather.
Hi, everyone. Michael Rogers for Zeb of the Ranch. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs for today all the way through the weekend. Yeah, that was the name of a movie that they take. Well, the weather guy in the movie said cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Well, pretty much got the same thing. Isolated showers today, and then it's going to be cloudy chance of showers all the way through Monday. Your daytime highs will be in the upper 70s. Your overnight lows will be in the low 50s. Nothing as far as severe in the forecast. No gusty wind or anything else of that nature. So basically, it's going to be a yucky weekend. But as I stated before in Idaho, nobody complains about rain this time of year because you need the water. Yep. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.
Thank you, Michael Rogers. Weather brought to you by Duck Ugly's, 163 West Highway 30 in Burley. Great place to eat. Rita, I want to ask you something. Did you see that little news story about the family that went to their son's high school graduation? And the boy had some troubles getting through high school, but he made it. He walked across that stage and he got his diploma. And the father just stood up and said, "You did it! Way to go!" And now the superintendent is going to press charges against the family for disrupting the ceremony and try to fine them $500.
This is so crazy. Education people are so out of control. I mean, I remember going to some graduations when I was back in high school, and my dad was just mortified that people would bring a cowbell and ring it when their student came across the thing, and I was too. I thought, this is a place where people ought to be, respectful and everything else. But I mean, 40 years later, there is no respect. You can go to any dance recital, any piano recitals, places where you would think there's going to be some quiet, and you've got everybody yelling and screaming, "Hey, what's going on?" So I can't believe that there would be this one person singled out, because you can't tell me that he was the only one who was making any kind of a noise other than just his quiet clapping as the students went across.
Yeah, and I guess maybe I'm looking at things, maybe people don't agree with me, but in this case where this young man, I'm singling him out, but this young man had some troubles in school, and it was absolutely a cherished moment for the father and the rest of the family, and way to go! You did it! You know what? I would think that they should embrace that. They should embrace the family atmosphere. They should embrace the family love. They should embrace the family caring for that young man. And they should embrace the fact that he persevered and graduated instead of turning around and the superintendent having charges brought against the family with a $500 fine. To me, that's absolutely stupid.
Well, it is. That's what I'm saying. You can't tell me that he was the only one that made some noise in that whole group.
Yeah.
Why are they singling him out? I mean, it's ridiculous. Everybody does it, and whatever he did, it was not agree. If he'd have ran up there and just caused all kinds of issues there, maybe there'd be something to talk about. But, for him to just, you did it and good, and everybody else was probably in his court just saying, yes, we're so glad and happy and everything else. But these school people, you get some superintendents, and it's like, I'm the czar.
Oh, yes.
You even talk to me.
Ah, yes.
Cause all kinds of hate.
Hey, I got to ask you real quick. Did you happen to hear about Disneyland and what they did?
No, what?
Oh, this is going to really wreck your thoughts on the utopia in Disneyland. Now they have fired 250 employees that kind of worked in their data systems department. And they told the employees they were going to lose their job, but they rehired people coming in from overseas. Some were illegal aliens, and they were hiring them cheaper to do the data systems job, but they told the people they fired, in order to get your pay for that pay period, you have to sit in the chair next to them and hire them and train them for your job.
Actually, I did hear a tail end of that thing, and that is absolutely ridiculous, but guess what? Disney isn't the only ones. There's all kinds of companies out there, and they're bringing in these tech people from other countries.
Yes.
Most of them aren't coming across the border illegally.
Yes.
But they're actually coming in here illegally because they fast-tracked them on their visas and permission to come here so that they can do that. And yet we sit by and just let them, the federal government, everybody else, turn their head and say, it doesn't matter if we have all these people coming in. And that's the other thing, we're even bringing some of them to the Twin Falls.
That is right.
To be in here. And these people that are coming in probably won't be high-skilled English-speaking people.
Rita, we've got about 2 minutes left. What's going on with the Tea Party? I would hope there'd be a resurgence. I would hope there'd be more people standing on the street corner yelling about what's going on. Please give me some good news.
Well, I can't really give you any good news, but what's going on with us is we're still trying to inform people. So our next meeting, we're actually going to have a report on the Republican summer meeting, which happens this weekend, and there will be a bunch of resolutions and things voted on. We're also going to talk about the changes with our Senator Cameron, who's going to be leaving, and there will be an appointment there, and the process of what that takes. Now, the committee precinct people are the ones who will send names to the governor, and so if anybody knows of somebody that they want to be a senator or put their support behind them, you need to get a hold of your precinct committee person and let them know, because they're the ones who are going to be choosing names for the governor to appoint one of them.
Rita, one thing I was going to throw in there real quick is that all these stories that we talked about this morning, all these different stories, it all falls back on us. If we don't get involved, things get worse.
Well, you're absolutely right. There's just a number of things that are happening, and people aren't getting involved. The first thing is people aren't getting educated and informed on things, and there's so many of them that are just skirting behind us, and we have no idea what's happening. Right now, there's a group that's targeting the American Lands Council for trying to get our federal lands back, and they just barely formed just the last few days, and they're actually a group that has been kind of promoted and sponsored by somebody in Washington. Can you imagine that?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I look forward to Thursdays. I really do, because I know I'm going to have you on the air. And real quick, your thoughts about what's happening with some of the Republican candidates like Rick Perry, et cetera. Don't you think, I want to go back to that. We talked about it just a moment ago. Don't you think that some of these people should have realized after the first run that they weren't successful and they can't do it again with the money behind them?
Well, that's kind of what I think. Rick Santorum's a really nice guy and everything, but I just don't see where he has any kind of a chance. Rick Perry would be one of my choices if he actually got in there, but he's kind of a big government person. But he knows how to manage the economy, and he knows how to tell the federal government, no, we're not doing that. So at least he has a spine. There are a number of other people, though, that, it's just kind of like, really?
But I want to throw one name at you real quick, and I'm almost out of time. I'm running over. Wouldn't you honestly pay $50 for a seat or even more to watch a cat fight between Carly Fiorina and Hillary Clinton?
Oh, yes, I'd give $200 for that one.
Okay, I'll try to line it up. Thanks, Rita. God bless you. Have a good day.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you. All right. I would love that. Honest to goodness, I would go and dip into the limited savings that I have and pull out the money and say, I want front row seats. I would love to see that. Carly Fiorina and versus Hillary Clinton. Whoa! There we go. Like that and growling at each other. It would be great. Settle down, Zebber. It's time now, if you're hungry like I am and starving to death, I've got some great places for you to go. Here we go. Taco Bandito, 2301 Overland and Burley, with the breakfast burritos. Oh, so good. Scrambled eggs, bacon and sausage, cheese, onions, tomatoes, sauce on a tortilla shell. It is good. And they got the new lime ranch dressing. It is delicious. You got to stop in and check out all the menu items at Taco Bandito. Monday through Thursday, 7:30 to 10 p.m. Friday and Saturday, 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. Oh, my, Taco Bandito. And now let's move over to Steve-O's, 290 South, 600 west of Hayburn. Food made the way you like it. Oh, the patio is open as long as they have good weather, and music will be starting the weekend of June 12th. And you can get, of course, the fantastic Steve's Nacho Fries, topped with cheese and jalapeno peppers. And also, you got to try the pork chops with salad and choice of potatoes. It is so good. Open Monday through Saturday, closed on Sundays. You're going to love Steve-O's in Hayburn. And let's not forget Burgers, etc. Two locations, 124 South Oneida in Rupert and 700 North Overland in Burley. Root beer floats at Burgers, etc. Only 99 cents after 3 p.m. until the end of August. I'll take a dozen. I love that. Delicious burgers and cheeseburgers and all kinds of goodies at Burgers, etc. And along with fresh strawberry milkshakes, too. 2 locations, Rupert and Burley. Let's move over last but not least to AC Drive-In. 601 East Main in Burley. I'm drooling. Fresh lime drinks and freezes and all the different flavors of milkshakes and the chicken fried steak sandwich that is, delicious. Along with the Farmer Brown burgers and all the fries with the sauce. Oh, I'm hungry. You will be too. Stop into the AC Drive-In, 601 East Main in Burley. And those are just a few great places to go if you're hungry and starving to death. Wheels, you got to stay at the studio. You can't go out and have any meal right now. You got to stay there. Okay, we're going to take a little break for about 6 minutes and then be back after the CBS News and Cassia County School Days with Debbie Critchfield coming up. Don't go away. Wow, here we go, hour number 3. I've been trying to carry on. Yes, dear, I'll get that later on the deposit for the bank. There we go. Good morning. A little bit of things to do here, family ties. Zeb at the Ranch with our major sponsor, your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. All 7 locations serving you, along with some of our great advertisers like Ramsey Heating and Electric at 2600 Overland Avenue in Burley and Valley-Wide Home and Ranch, 910 South Oneida in Rupert. Everything for the farm, the home, and the ranch. Okay, let's see. Where am I at here? In just a few minutes, we're going to have Debbie Critchfield on the air with the Cassia County School Days. Don't forget that. But right now, I want to remind you about the Chadwick. Deanna, I need your help on this. What is a shawarma? Do you know? She doesn't know either. Okay, here's a little trivia quiz. At the Chadwick Sports Grill, 139 West Main in Burley, today's special is chicken shawarma. That's how it's spelled. Chicken shawarma. Served with hummus and red cabbage slaw on a pita sandwich, on pita bread with super salad. That sounds really, really good. And we'll check it out. Chicken shawarma. Along with all the great menu items at the Chadwick Sports Grill, 139 West Main in Burley. You stop in and check out chicken shawarma today at the Chadwick. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, June Dairy Month. Yeah, you can't forget June Dairy Month. I would like to say thank you to a dear, dear friend of mine, and that's Joe Taylor Realty, and he's located at 1826 Overland Avenue in Burley. The number to call is 678-9400. One-stop shopping, and believe me, he's a member of both the internet and local multiple listing services. Joe is good. He has the experience and is very well known in the community, and give Joe a call for all your real estate needs. Joe Taylor Realty, 1826 Overland in Burley. A very, very nice man. Right now, we're going to get everything all set to go for our Cassia County School Days. And Cassia County School Days, of course, is brought to you by our friends at Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland Avenue in Burley. Now, whether it's a life-saving colonoscopy or any other surgery that you have questions on, please give them a call and let them help you save money. 677-8888, the number to call. Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland Avenue in Burley. And also our friends at A Child's World, 1308 Overland in Burley, where they have all the fun water toys for the kids and all kinds of activities and games to keep the kids in the backseat really active and thinking and doing something while you're on those road trips. They've got it all for you. And free gift wrapping at A Child's World, 1308 Overland in Burley, along with the Ambulatory Surgery Center at 1344 Highland Avenue in Burley, bringing you school days in Cassia County. Right now, let's go to the phone line, and I believe we have with us the lovely Debbie Critchfield. Debbie, are you there?
I am here, yes.
Good morning to you. How are you?
I am well. And how about you?
Busy. If it wasn't for my lovely bride getting everything all organized here, I would be in a state of total chaos, but thank goodness she's here to help in the office. What's going on with you? Your job as communications director and everything else that's going on now, going into the summer, but I would imagine it's still very busy for you.
We are in the thick of getting plans ready as starting some construction with the school bond that passed in the spring.
Okay.
And so maybe that's the first thing off the top of my head that I think is noteworthy. We've been working really since the day after the bond was successful with a construction team and our architects and in the various communities to really fine-tune the designs and the plans. And we've been working in Malta. In fact, next Wednesday, this is a good little plug for the folks out there, next Wednesday night at 7 p.m., we are hosting a community meeting. We've actually got 3 options for the folks out there to consider. We had talked about they're going to get a new high school, that no matter what. Mm-hmm. What it looks like, we've developed some more options, and so that's really exciting that with the budget that we've got for them, and it'll stay there and they can utilize all of those dollars, they've got some choices.
Okay. And, the passing of that school bond was so important because it's going to be able to do so many things to help so many people and the students, right?
Oh, absolutely. These are needs that we have seen not just in the last couple of years, but 4 years. And 20 years ago, when we had another school bond that went through around $22 million, it really addressed our secondary schools, our high schools. And so for the last 20 years, we have developed some needs in our elementary schools. And as I look at the bond that just passed, that was the focus there. How can we take care of those needs for the future? Of course, we do have, again, Malta. We needed to address their high school and their water situation, and those things will all be taken care of. And again, this is a great opportunity for people out there and really in the whole county. And I do want to add, too, this was a great phone call. I don't always get great phone calls sometimes, but this was a good one. Dr. Smyer called me yesterday, and he's been working with a fellow by the name of Robbie Robertson. He owns a metal or a steel building supplier kind of a shop in Caldwell. He was very instrumental in the Burley Ag Shop that was put up, and we've been working with him as we've developed some plans as we're looking at the Oakley and the Malta Ag Shops. And anyway, this Robertson fellow called yesterday and is donating the equivalent of $90,000 to erect the Ag Shop in Oakley.
Oh, my goodness. That is good news.
Yeah, it's huge. And so we've also been seeing a lot of community support, and I expect that as we get into other projects that we're going to see this type of generosity. Certainly that is above and beyond what you would expect.
Debbie, I would imagine, and I guess I'm guilty up until I really got involved in a talk show for a living, but I would imagine a lot of people think that the minute the kids are out of school, that you and the teaching staff and the superintendent and everybody else just kind of throws their hands up in the air and runs for the hills, and they think they're riding ATVs and going fishing. It's not the case, is it?
Not exactly, no. In fact, our teachers, our principals actually will stay for an additional 2 weeks, that they will come in and take care of, finish things out, and they're contracted even longer than our teachers are. And our teachers this week are going to different trainings to get them prepared and ready for next year. So we've got all kinds of workshops and professional development that take place the week after school, and Our maintenance crews, I think they love summer because it gets everybody out of these buildings, and they can get in there and take care of things that maybe needed to be done when they weren't occupied, or they're going to take a little bit longer time. We've got summer crews. In fact, the school district is looking to hire some folks that can do some summer maintenance and paint. Just a great temporary summer job to get in and get things painted and ready to go on the first day. It's a lot of work.
Well, let me ask you.
Run a school district.
Let me ask.
Certainly appreciate our superintendent and all these other folks.
Let me ask you this question, and it just hit me, Debbie. I would imagine that there is also many summer school sessions that are going to be starting up, yes. And so that also is an increased workload of trying to get everything organized.
Absolutely. We have summer school going in Declo and Burley, and as you've mentioned, that takes some organization. And even though for most folks school ended last week, a lot of teachers and administrators, they were ready to go on Monday with a summer school session that'll go into July.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what else? I would think that when you sit down and you have to plan everything out, Dr. Smyer and everybody else, now with all the building projects and with the summer school and with the cleaning projects and getting everything ready on the books and getting everything ready on purchases, wow, there is a lot of things that have to be done before next fall.
There is a lot of preparation, and our teachers do a great service to our students over the summer in that they do a lot of preparation. Certainly, this is their vacation as well, but I don't know of any teacher that completely turns off their classroom.
Right.
And says, I'll think about that maybe the Friday before school starts. They're getting training to be better teachers. They're seeing what's out there. We have a new math curriculum that we adopted at the last school board meeting. And so kindergarten through 6th grade, those teachers are going to be busy over the summer familiarizing themselves with the new books and the new strategies and the new programs. And I think that that's reflected in our community. We've got great hometown teachers that care not only just about the classroom, but they want to have a good product. They want to exhibit their talents, and we all benefit from that.
You know what I noticed from all the different personalities that you had lined up for me to come on this segment, all the different teachers, all the different classes, all the different aspects of education, I was absolutely impressed with each and every one of them, with their desire to really teach these kids, their desire to really put forth the best foot as far as showing the best education. I mean, every one of them, and all of them, I kept all their sheets, all their names, all their classes. Man, it was interesting. And me, of all people that hates mathematics with a passion, even the teacher that I talked to about the math, I was fascinated.
It piques your interest and thought, maybe I need to go back to the 4th grade.
Let's not go that far, Debbie.
I have thought that myself as I've gone into different classrooms, and I see excitement. I don't know how it started, and I don't know if it's very cliche to say, one bad apple, spoils the bunch or whatever. But yeah, occasionally we have teachers that aren't too zippy. We all know of those. But by and large, our teachers really are passionate about education. They have to be, because they don't get paid that much. And they care about kids. Most of our teachers are in this community for the long term. They care about their reputation and doing well, and again, getting the kids ready. And so really there's a lot to kind of nod at with education.
I think compliments and kudos should go to you, the Cassia County Schools Communications Officer, because this was an added chore that you took on in supplying us all these names to interview on this program and everything, and including like the school nurses and talking about medicine and of course all the medical needs and the different injections the kids have to have, etc. I thought every program you put forth was excellent. And I'm certainly looking forward to more leading into this next fall.
I'm glad for your last statement. I was beginning to wonder that maybe you were saying thanks, but done with you.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, we have been blessed with two great sponsors for this segment, an ambulatory surgery center and A Child's World, and grateful to you for the job you've done. And I'm looking forward to more diversified people coming on here. I've learned a lot by having it on my show.
I appreciate that. And the goal is for our community to just be better aware and in tune. I think when we have kids in school, even then, we know things, but we don't know everything. And then we reach a point where you don't have children that are in school, and especially once your kids are out of elementary school, you never see a note again. A kid doesn't know how to give a note. And so it's important for not just parents, but again, we all live in this community, and our schools affect, the calendars affect us, and all of these things that are happening. And there's lots of good things happening. We appreciate the avenue to talk about it.
Well, let me throw one last question to you this morning. And during the summer months, a lot of change, a lot of transition. People are moving in. Maybe they've bought a new home here in the area, and they absolutely don't know who to talk to or what numbers to talk to try to get information for the fall session. And I mean, there's a lot of planning that has to go on. What about during the summer months? What are the numbers or places of information people can go to find out about the upcoming school year?
Two ways, and I'm going to go digital first, because I think that's kind of the habit that we have. When we have a question, we grab the phone and type something in there. We have really taken a lot of pains to upgrade and update our website. There's a lot of information on there. The school calendar for all of next year is on there. In fact, there's even a link, and it's called Guide K-12, for folks that have moved into the area. If you click that link, you can plug your address in, and it'll show you the school that you're in the zone to attend.
Oh.
And so if you don't want to talk to a real person, go to the website, casiaschools.org, easy one. And, of course, our central office is open throughout the summer, and we've got awesome ladies in there who are very serviceable and friendly, and 878 what is the number? 6600, 878-6600. Folks can call in there.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to next week. Debbie Critchfield, the Cassia County School Communications Officer. Have a great, great week, and I'll talk to you or someone next Thursday.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Cassia County School Days brought to everybody by Ambulatory Surgery Center in Burley and A Child's World on Overland in Burley. And thank you very much. Let's see, right now I want to also remind you again about our friends at Lennox and Ramsey Heating and Electric, and they can offer rebates on qualified Lennox home comfort systems. That's right, and they've been a Lennox independent dealer at Ramsey Heating and Electric for over 50 years. They know the climate, they know the equipment, and they've done the shopping for you. Don't forget, Lennox and Ramsey's. They provide warm winters and cool summers. Deanne did a little research. Thank you, Deanne, and help me on this a little bit. The print, if it was much smaller off that computer, I think maybe I couldn't read it. Chicken shawarma, there we go, is a dish of meat or poultry served on pita bread, and it sounds really, really delicious. It's grilled, and I think you're going to find it very tasty. Boy, the picture I'm looking at right here, woo, it is something to have. And that's going to be at the Chadwick this noon for lunch. Sounds good. Thank you. We're going to get ready in just a few minutes for our next little segment that we call our business segment. And today we're going to be visiting with somebody, I don't know if it's going to be Whitney or whom it is, over at our friends at, let's see, Cheney Flooring and Home Design. They're going to be on the air. And let's check with Wheels and see if he's got them all ready to go. What do you say, Wheels? What's cooking over there, man?
I'm getting them on the phone right now.
Are you busy this morning? Are things going well for you, my friend?
Yes, They are.
Oh, he's on the air. Okay, he's got a question coming in. We're going to have that in just a few moments. And again, a reminder that I know Jimmy Flowers and everybody connected with the 29th annual Mini-Cassia Auto Collectors Classics on the Grass. That's going to be at the Cassia County Fairgrounds this weekend on June 6th and 7th. You know, they put a lot of time and effort not only into these vehicles, but also into putting on a very classy show for Classics on the Grass. Everybody try to be there at the Cassia County Fairgrounds this weekend, June 6 and 7. All right, let's go right now and see what Wheels has got cooking for us. Do we have someone from Cheney Flooring and Home Design?
We do.
All right, enter and sign in, please. Who have we got on the phone?
This is Sierra.
Hello, Sierra. Well, we have never talked to you before. Tell us your last name and tell us what you do over there at Cheney Flooring and Home Design.
Well, my last name's Stout. I'm not related to anyone up here. I get asked that all the time.
Uh-huh.
But I am actually the store manager over here at Cheney Flooring.
Well, now, I understand through the grapevine that you're going to be having a great big anniversary sale this weekend. Is that right?
We are.
Well, tell us a little bit about it. What are some of the specials?
Well, we're going to have some great doorbusters going on. We've got tile for under $1, so it's going to be 99 cents a square foot.
Oh, my.
It's a great deal. We're going to have some carpet for as low as $5.79 a square yard. That makes it like under $1 a square foot. So it's going to be a great deal. And it's good carpet, too. It's not like the cheap stuff. It's good carpet. We're going to have vinyl as low as $7 a yard. And all of our home decor is going to be 50% off.
Oh.
The whole store is going to be 10% off.
All right, now what special hours are you going to have for this anniversary sale?
Well, because we have so much going on, we're moving all of our remnants up to the front. We're not opening on Friday, so tomorrow, until 1 o'clock.
I see.
We're going to be open from 1 until 6 tomorrow. And then on Saturday, we're going to be open from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m.
Now, I heard somebody say that... I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't hear...
No, you're just fine. Go ahead.
I heard somebody say that the first two people that put deposits down on new carpet and installation, what are they going to receive?
Well, as long as it's a total purchase of $500, so carpet, installation pad, $500, that's basically going to be a good-sized room. They're going to get a free Shark vacuum.
Oh, my. Well, tell us about these Shark vacuums. What makes them so special?
Well, you've heard of, like, the Dyson vacuum and how Dyson is amazing. Well, Shark vacuum is just amazing, but you don't have to spend all the money on everything to get into it. It's a great vacuum. It's got the swivel base, so you can just turn your wrist to turn it. It's a lightweight vacuum, and it's bagless.
All right, now...
To buy bags.
I'll tell you what, it sounds to me like this is going to be quite a happening, this anniversary sale that's going on. And what makes Cheney Flooring and Home Design so unique? What's the specialty about Cheney Flooring and Home Design?
Well, we have designers here. Whitney Cheney, she's one of the owners. She's a designer here. She will go into your home for free, and she will walk you through the steps, pick out colors with you, make sure that everything matches. A lot of people are afraid of getting things that don't look good together. And Whitney, she's great at colors. She can help you pick all of that out. Kyle, he's one of the other owners. He's Whitney's husband. He's our installer. He's been doing this since he was like 4 years old. He went out with his dad and his grandfather, who are also flooring installers. So if you have any questions about installation or the product itself, Kyle knows everything there is to know about it.
And so
here at the store, we have everything you need, from your carpet, your tile, to your cabinets and your walls.
All right. It says whatever you need to make your house a home, right?
Yes, and we are where your home design needs are aisles apart, not miles apart.
You know, Sierra, I can make a wager with you. I know one room where Kyle and Whitney and you'd run away from. You know where it is?
Oh, where's that?
My office. You wouldn't want to set foot in this office.
Well, you should see what Whitney did with our office here. We've got a design center in-house, and you should see what that looks like, so I'm sure we could tackle it.
Now, what about kitchen construction? I know that a lot of people are really, really fussy about their kitchens, and you got a lot of great ideas about that, don't you?
We do. Our cabinets, we have great cabinets that we can get custom sizes without that custom price. A lot of places, when you go to the box stores, you have to get cabinets that are in 3-inch increments. That means you're going to have some filler spaces and wasted space. We can get things down to the 1/4 inch. So your cabinets can be as custom as you'd like. We can go from really simple up to the most decor and ornate.
Oh, my goodness. And, of course, the slogan, look for the blue door. What is the significance about having the blue door?
Well, it's something you can't miss.
Okay.
People that come in here and they're like, I had to stop by just because this is such a neat door. It's blue. We've got blue doors in the back. And, we've got everything between those blue doors for you.
Hey, one last question, too. I've had a lot of people call after I do the ads for the weather in the morning, etc., and they say, now, tell us a little bit about this refurbished furniture. Explain that a little bit, Sierra, would you please?
Yeah, so Whitney finds great pieces of furniture that people will otherwise just throw away and get rid of, and Whitney gives them new life. We paint them, we get them all redone, new knobs, new everything. So it's not a brand new piece of furniture, but it's a piece of furniture you're not going to find in anyone else's house.
I like that idea. Okay, big anniversary sale coming up this weekend, June 5 and 6 at Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Look for the blue door. Sierra, you did a great job.
Well, thank you.
And come back and talk to us again, would you please?
Will do. Thank you.
All right. God bless. Have a great weekend and a great sale, anniversary sale at Cheney Flooring and Home Design, 1228 Oakley Avenue in Burley. Like we say, look for the blue door. There you go.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, Sierra. God bless. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Oh, my. Nice people. I'm glad to and I'm very proud to have them on the air. Thank you very much. We're going to get ready to take a break in just a moment and send it back over to our main studios. And then coming up next hour, we've got Vicky's Country Garden with the Gardening for Idiots. I've got a lot of questions for her today. And then at about 10:46, we're going to have a little interview with a very dear friend of mine, retiring State Senator Dean Cameron. So stay tuned. I'll be back in 3.
And now back to Zeb at the Ranch on AM 1230 KBAR. To reach Zeb, call 436-2244 or toll free 1-866-927-4587. And now, here is Zeb Bell.
Good morning and welcome back. And right now it is time for the one, the only, the great lady that knows all about gardening, Vicky's Country Garden, the lovely Miss Vicky at 185 South, 600 West of Paul, and the number 438-5663. Vicky's Country Garden. Good morning, Vicky.
Good morning, Zeb. How are we today?
Not too bad, but you know me. I absolutely don't know that much about gardening and flowers, but I'm learning every week. Thank you for the education.
There you go. Well, we're going to make you a master gardener yet.
Oh, I wouldn't bet the farm. I've got a couple of questions for you. And, boy, when it comes to flowers and the different names of flowers and how to maintain, I am out of my element. So I'm just going to try to repeat this as it was called in. This is in regards to orchids. And the lady wants to know, how do you maintain the plant after the flowers, the petals, I guess, fall off, and the flowers have been blooming since February, and what do you do to maintain them?
Well, basically, orchids, they require special, kind of a special lighting, more or less. A lot of people grow them under grow lights. You use basically a light fertilizer in the water about once a week or so on them. A lot of people are always wanting to transplant orchids, thinking they don't have much of a root system on them, so they don't get root bound very often. And if you are transplanting them, you have to make sure you have a real barky soil. They grow basically on the side of trees and things like that. I mean, it's got to be a very aerated, kind of just an actual small chunk bark type thing that they grow in.
Okay.
But they're really not that hard, and use a fertilizer again that has your higher phosphate that will keep the blooms coming.
Okay. And that's all there is to it?
Yeah, you trim the blooms off, as they've died, but like I say, they grow in a very open, aerated soil, and so just use a fertilizer. Just water them lightly. Fairly often, but lightly, and then use a good high phosphate fertilizer to keep the blooms coming.
Oh, okay. Well, now, here's another question that I absolutely, when I read it, I said to myself, what? And the question is, what are the best plants to attract butterflies? And naturally, with the cowboy attitude, I would have said plants that say, come here, butterfly, or something like that. I had no idea, so go ahead.
Well, butterflies and hummingbirds are all alike. They like a lot of color. They attract to a lot of red.
Oh.
Hummingbirds and butterflies both like bright colors, reds, hot pinks, that type of thing. Something that has a real sweet smell to it. There again, like petunias, things of that nature, you'll see hummingbirds and butterflies flying around those quite a bit.
Oh.
But it's brightly colored plants, and most plants, when you're buying perennials and things of that nature, they will state on there that they are attractive to hummingbirds and butterflies and different things like that. Usually, the plants will kind of give you a clue too on the tag that comes with them. But usually, it's bright colors.
All right. Well, now, for heaven's sakes, I love those doggone little hummingbirds. We got a whole bunch of them out here on the east side of the house, and now I'm going to stand out there with a red shirt on, and maybe they'll become friendlier.
They get pretty close. I mean, if they get used to you, they will come right up and fly right up into your face.
Oh, I was sleeping on the porch last year, and one of them just literally landed right on my chest.
Uh-huh.
And then I woke up because I thought, wow, what in the world is going on? I felt like I had an Evinrude motor on my chest when those wings are going.
They make quite a little whirring sound.
Oh, my.
Fluttering wings, but they're very curious little guys. They really are. They'll definitely come right up to you, especially if they get used to you being around them.
Yeah. Now, okay, I got a question for you here. My grandmother back in Wisconsin used to always call these flowers peonies, but now I've heard a lot of people say peonies. What in the world is the right pronunciation?
It's all in where you're from. It's like tortilla.
Oh.
I mean, it's all in just a person's pronunciation. Most of the main growers call them peonies, but like I say, it just all depends on your accent and where you're from.
Well, now this one lady that wrote in about peonies or peonies or whatever said that she has a peony bush, but it never wants to bloom. What's the matter with it?
Probably planted too deep.
Oh.
A lot of times over the years, the rule of thumb on peonies is the crown of the plant can't be any deeper in dirt than the first knuckle on your thumb.
The first knuckle on your thumb. Okay.
And so you basically don't want them much deeper than about 3/4 to an inch.
Oh.
If they get any deeper than that, they'll grow, but they won't bloom.
Okay.
And use bone meal on them in the spring and in the fall, and that will help them bloom too.
All right.
Definitely check the depth of the crown. Rake some of the bark or the dirt or whatever away from them early, and make sure in the spring when they're coming up that they're not planted too deep, because that does stop them from blooming.
I'll be darned. Okay, now, last question, and when I got this one in the mail, I kind of looked at it and I thought, what? Anyway, it says, when planting potatoes, do the eyes go up or down?
It doesn't really make they're going to find their way out.
I'd never heard of anything like that. That's why I read that question.
We'll plant them with the eyes going up, figuring that's the direction they're going to go. That's your sprout, and it's going to go up.
Is that why when they bury me, they're going to put my eyes facing heavenward, I hope?
You better hope.
Yes, ma'am. But it really doesn't make any difference, huh?
It doesn't, but as a rule, if you're placing your spud seed, most people will plant them with the eyes up, because that's the direction that the sprouts are going to go, is up.
Oh, okay.
But they're going to find their way out no matter what.
All right. Well, now it's your turn. What is the lovely Miss Vicky at Vicky's Country Garden tip of the week?
Well, if you've got your garden and everything all in and everything is up and going, It's time to either get your weed and grass preventers down in your garden to stop the weeds, or get your weed mat down so you don't spend all summer hoeing.
Okay, and so how much work really is it to maintain? I know it depends on the size of the garden and everything, but how much time does a person really have to look at on a per-day basis?
Well, if you don't have weed mat down, you really need, on a per-day basis, you need to be out at least for a half hour or so checking for bugs, checking for weeds, checking your water, that type of thing. If you've got your weed mat down, that helps preserve the water, the moisture in the ground, and it keeps the weeds from coming up. You still have to go out on a daily basis, though, and do a little checking to see if you've got blight setting in. Just look at your plants and see if they're looking healthy. Check the backside of the leaves for aphid, that type of thing.
Okay.
It's an ongoing thing, either of an early morning or of an evening. At least spend a little time out there checking your plants.
Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about Vicky's Country Garden itself. What are the hot items that you want to mention today on the program?
Well, we've got a beautiful supply of perennials in right now that are all blooming. They're ready to go in anyone's yard. For perennial gardens, we've still got a lot of petunias that are just bright and colorful. So, if you're wanting to brighten up your yard, we've got pretty much anything you want. If you're still needing vegetables, cucumbers, things of that nature, we've got a ton of squashes, cucumbers, melons. We still got a good selection of tomatoes and peppers. So, whatever you're needing, and we've got a full line of Fertilome chemicals to keep the bugs and the fungus and the grasses and the weeds and everything out and under control.
And what about decorating their property? And when I say that, doing some landscaping, putting in some decorative rock and maybe some shrubs and that type of thing, you've got all that, right?
We've got all of that. Like I say, we can help you with your landscape needs. We've got the full line of bark. And the Montana River rock is coming this weekend, so I will have the Montana rock in the nice colored rock to put down. We've got all the sizes of weed mat that you need to keep the weeds from coming up, and that you can put the rock on and keep it under control. We've got roses, we've got shrubs, we've got some nice trees, evergreens. We've got all kinds of stuff. So whatever they need, they can come in and talk to me. And if I don't have it, usually I've got a truck coming that I can catch and put something on and get it in for you.
All right.
I'll be more than glad to work with you.
I'm going to let you tell everybody where you're located and what hours you're open.
All righty. We are on the Burley-Paul Highway. Basically, the address is 185 South, 600 West. But just if you're coming out of Burley, heading towards Paul, you can't miss us. We have a brand new sign up that you can read that says Vicky's Country Gardens. And our phone number is 438-5663. And our hours are 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 on Saturdays, and 11 to 4 on Sunday.
All right, there she is, the lovely Miss Vicky at Vicky's Country Gardens, 185 South, 600 West of Paul. God bless you. Have a great week. We'll talk to you next Thursday.
All right, Zeb. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Vicky.
See ya.
Bye-bye. I like that lady. She's a lot of fun, good sport, and good sense of humor. Thank you very much. Hey, we're going to do the weather forecast real quick. And the weather is brought to everybody this hour by Scarro's Meats, located at 331 North Road, Jerome. And the telephone number to call is 324-7657. They have absolutely got so many things over there. All the brats and the salami and the pastrami and the jerky and the sausage, and of course still they're telling everybody about that $300 tax return meat package with the beef, the pork, the chicken, and the cheese. Unbelievably delicious. Check it out today. Stop in at 331 North Road, Jerome, or give them a call, 324-7657. At Scarro's Meats, they sell taste one bite at a time. And right now here is Michael Rogers weather.
Hi, everyone. Michael Rogers for Zeb of the Ranch. How do you with a chance of meatballs? for today all the way through the weekend. Yeah, that was the name of a movie that they take. Well, weather guy in the movie said cloudy with a chance of meatball. So pretty much got the same thing. Isolated showers today, and then it's going to be cloudy chance of showers all the way through Monday. Your daytime highs will be in the upper 70s. Your overnight lows will be in the low 50s. Nothing as far as severe in the forecast. No gusty wind or anything else of that nature. So basically, it's going to be a yucky weekend. But as I stated before in Idaho, nobody complains about rain this time of year because you need the water. Yep. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. It's the only weather you got.
Michael, thank you very much. Don Scarrow and the rest of the crew serving you at Scarrow's Meats, where they sell taste one bite at a time at 331 North Road, Jerome. Telephone number 324-7657. Right now, let's go to the phone line, and I get a chance to visit with a very dear friend of mine, and that is Idaho Senator Dean Cameron. Good morning, Senator. How are you?
I'm good, Zeb. How are you doing?
Well, I got to tell you, it's with a little twinge of sadness this morning that I have you on the program, because we're going to announce to everybody that perhaps doesn't know it, you are going to be retiring as a state senator and take on a brand new job. Tell us about it.
Well, it's a difficult decision, a hard decision for me to make. But recently, last week, as a matter of fact, the governor has asked me to serve as the director of Department of Insurance. And for everybody who knows, they know I not only serve as a state senator, but I have an insurance business here in Rupert. And it's not something that I'd ever aspired to do, but it's something that I can do, and I think it would be the best thing for me and my family, and really for the area. I have served 24 years in the state senate and loved every minute of it, although there have been difficult times, and I think it's time for somebody else to have the opportunity to serve. And so effective June 15th, I will resign from the state senate and will take over the responsibilities as the director
of the insurance program, right?
Right.
Okay.
Of the Department of Insurance.
Let me ask you this question, and I know this is, I know you've given this a lot of thought, because I've had to make some transitions in my life, and it's a weighty decision. Am I doing the right thing? Am I going to make a mistake? Should I maybe reconsider? This decision wasn't easy at all, was it?
No, not at all. I love serving in the Senate. I love living in this community, and I have a good business partner and who I get along with very well, and we run a successful business. It's not a financial gain. It is merely a change that allows me to focus on one job instead of trying to do two, and is a change that I think will be better suited in the long run. But it was very difficult because I really do not want to leave this area. Our plan is not to sell our home. We plan on coming back here, and we will be here most weekends.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to be in Boise during the week, all the time, not just during the legislative session.
Let me ask you this, Dean, and I know this probably isn't a fair question to catch you off guard, but when you look back at 24 years of representing the state as a senator, what are some of the most memorable moments as a state senator?
Well, there's probably too many that we can talk about, but I have served with so many good people. I counted up the other day, I think somewhere 146 different senators that I have served with in the 24 years. And, of course, I have had the privilege of working with just some tremendous people like Bert Stevenson and Denton Darrington, who are no longer in the House and in the Senate, but just tremendous people. I had the privilege of serving with Speaker Bedke and Representative Wood as part of our district team, and then, of course, certainly not least, being able to co-chair with Representative Maxine Bell of the Budget Committee. And our budget's been through difficult times. There's a lot of things that I've been able to do over the years, and a lot of people I've been able to help. I'm probably known more for our budgeting and the things that we've had to do in order to protect the taxpayer dollars and make sure that money was spent appropriately, and protect education and do those things which the citizens most want us to do. But there's just, it's a somber, frankly, a somber thing to think about, because I just hate leaving it, but it's not my position to hold forever. It's
right.
I've held it a long time, probably longer than some would like, actually. But I've worked hard at it, and I've tried to do the very best I could. And I've had a lot of help along the way.
This is interesting that you should kind of segue towards the end of that last statement about all the years. But now, correct me if I'm wrong, you started in the Senate at age 30, and quite frankly, you made a statement in the newspaper that that's too young. What did you mean by that?
Well, I meant that, and it's always fun when you talk to reporters, because what you say and what ends up getting reported isn't always exactly the way and the poor reporters have to take what sometimes is a 30 to 45-minute interview and consolidate it down.
Right.
But when I was chosen to serve in the state Senate, there was probably an expectation of not too much because I was so young. I had experience, but I didn't have a full breadth of experience. But fortunately for me, I went in there with people like Mike Crapo and Denton Darrington, and those were my friends, are my friends. They were who mentored me, and then I found other mentors there like Bruce Newcomb and Jerry Twiggs, who's now deceased, and Atwell Perry, who's now deceased, and others. And I learned, instead of being this brash, a person who could be very critical and could drill the agencies or drill the people that were there proposing a piece of legislation, which is important. You have to think critically, but there are good ways and there are bad ways about doing it. And I learned how to do that in an appropriate way that I could be most effective as a senator and most effective for my constituents.
Okay, now this new job, let's talk a little bit about being the director of the Department of Insurance. What does it mean? What do you do? What's a day in the life of the director?
Well, I don't know that I can give you a complete full answer, but I'll give you what I know. I am in charge of regulating the insurance industry in Idaho.
Okay.
I am in charge of regulating the insurance companies, making sure they are compliant with the law, that they are financially stable, that they are not overcharging premium, that they are being responsive to their customers and consumers.
Okay.
I'm also in charge of regulating the agents and making sure that they're compliant with the law, that they're not misrepresenting or violating any of the provisions of their license. It goes further. We are also, the state fire marshal is underneath me, so any investigation on any fire flows through my office. Programs such as the SHIBA program, which helps senior citizens in their insurance benefits, falls underneath me. The title insurance program, and even bail bonds.
Oh my!
And bail bondsmen fall under my office. It's an office of 73 employees, although about 8 of them are vacant right now. So those are sort of the cursory review. We have to review and approve all forms, all product designs, all rates, and those that falls under the responsibility of the department.
Real quick, Dean, I've only got a minute or two left, but now I would imagine that people need to realize that if there are problems with insurance, problems with an agent, problems with coverage that wasn't maintained or offered or given to the insured, these people need to call your office, and that's how to get things rolling, right?
Yeah, I would first always allow the carrier or the agent to try and resolve it. But if they are not having a resolution, they are, if they don't understand how a company paid their claim and they think that they paid it inappropriately, they should go to the Department of Insurance. We have a Consumer Affairs Division. We have good people there, and they would look into it. And they will be straight with you. If there's a provision in your policy that says that doesn't cover X, then that will be explained to you.
Okay.
But if there are times, and I've been able to help a lot of people as senator doing this, because I may not be their insurance agent, but they'll come to me and say, we've got this policy and this happened, and we'll write a letter for them or help them, and we're able to help resolve it. Not always, but a lot of times we were able to. And so that becomes a big part of who I am and what I do.
All right.
This is another way to serve. I won't be serving on all the other issues that are important, but at least in this arena where I am well versed, I can serve in that way.
All right, I'm going to say 30 seconds to bid a fond farewell to all the people here in Magic Valley as far as being a state senator. I'll let you have the floor, 30 seconds.
Well, thank you, Zeb. I really appreciate you, first of all, and appreciate your willingness to allow me to come on the program, and I hope you'll allow me to come back in the future, because I can certainly do that from my new capacity. But I want to thank the citizens of District 27, Cassia County and Minidoka County. They have been so tremendous, and Jerome County. There was a time I represented them as well. They have been so tremendous in supporting me, sending me emails, letters of support, encouragement. Sometimes they disagreed with me on issues, and that's important. They would contact and let me know where they thought I was wrong or what else I needed to do, and I've always tried to be responsive and listen to their concerns. But I have just felt it has been an experience of a lifetime. It is an opportunity that is very, very hard, but it is a wonderful experience, and I'm just extremely grateful for all of those folks. I'm grateful for my family for their support and allowing me to serve in this way.
All right.
My children have given up so much time, but at the same time, they know how important it is that we have good people with good morals and good responsibilities serving in our state government. And I know there are citizens that haven't agreed with every vote I've made. I don't agree with every vote I've made. But you make the decision based on the information you have at the time, and make the best decision you can based on what you think your constituents would have you do. And I just am grateful for the opportunity and thank them for their support.
All right, I got to run. I'm out of time, but I want to say, Dean Cameron, thank you so much. God's blessings as the new director of the Department of Insurance. Thank you, Dean, for being on the program.
Thank you so much, my friend.
God bless. Thank you very much. Good friend to this program, Senator Dean Cameron, now the director of the Department of Insurance. Let's not forget our great friends at your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, all 7 locations serving you with the free pre-trip safety check and the best in tires for wherever you're going. They've got the tires to make sure you get there safely. Absolutely. And also the best in brake service, the best of front end alignment, shocks and struts, batteries. You stop in and talk to the best, and that's your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. Centers. And again, I want to mention many of their tires are on sale, like for your passenger cars, the Ultra Z900, long tread life and smooth, quiet ride. Check it out and be safe. Stop into your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers, Lane and Rupert, Dave on Blue Lakes and Twin, Mike and Buell, Mike and Jerome, the Twist family and Paul, John on Poline in Twin Falls, and Randy on Overland and Burley. Your Magic Valley Les Schwab Tire Centers. I'm late. Wheels, have a great weekend. God bless. The way things were, the way things ought to be. I'll see you Monday.